All right, hey everybody, I'm your host, Grande Gato, and this is 1995 The Roar, channel for the fans, by the fan, restoring the roar. Man, welcome back to another episode. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor, man, hit the like button, share, subscribe, tell a friend about us, okay, man? We have memberships also for $1.99. Get them cool little insignia next to your name, just to show some support, some love, and all that good stuff. Today, we're going to talk about the Carolina Panthers FanFest. And unfortunately, man, we're here to talk about a somber note too. A gentleman who made a vague threat on my life, and I guess I don't know. That's tempting to. I don't know. I don't know what to expect of that, but I want to kind of give you guys a history on that, where that stands as far as the Carolina Panthers and the place in this community is. It's really egregious. It's disappointing to say the least, especially on a celebratory night, right? So we're going to talk about that here, and I want to kind of slow walk that. But first, I want to get into some Carolina Panthers football, all right? With that being said, let's get to the first roar. All right, first roar for the Carolina Panthers. Bryce Young and FanFest was very entertaining, okay? Over 47,000 tickets were sold for a practice, which is amazing, okay? That's very amazing. To me, I've been to FanFest. The last FanFest I've been to was Cam Newton's FanFest, right? They did have one in Clemson, I believe, the year before. I'm actually not too far from Clemson, about an hour outside of Clemson. So I had no desire. I still have no desire to return to a FanFest. But what I will say is, if you're a local Carolinian, or maybe if you just, taking a vacation, got some time in town, I do recommend you go. Um, it's a pretty cool experience there, okay? And I think at least once in your life as a Panthers fan, you should enjoy it. Nonetheless, over 60% capacity filled, and the tickets are $5 a piece, right? Tickets are literally $5 a piece. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people who don't have the money to pay for an NFL game, right? Um, it's a good experience to see these players, right? Even if it's just during practice. If you ain't got a lot of money or you ain't got a lot of time throughout the regular season, it's $5, right? You can sit, pretty much anywhere you want to for the most part. And yeah, you can feel like a celebrity. They might even put you on the Jumbotron, okay? It also went to charity as well. So big shout out to that. Quarterback Bryce Young looked sharp once again. And they do a little trick pass by Jalen Croker, which was intercepted by J.C. Horn. It's really a lighthearted practice, right? I mean, you got a little bit of a scrimmage going on, but you also have a little bit of a showmanship going on as well, right? So they're going to give you a little bit of fun mixed with an actual little bit of a practice. They're not going to show you too much of everything, right? Rightfully so. You know what I mean? We got a Hall of Fame game around the corner next week, which we will be covering, so make sure you're here for that. Canales described the night as a fun night, right? Said the energy was high. We all needed that right now as a Panther community, dealing with guys like Nick Gordon and Chris Brazel, who both are on IR right now. A fun night amongst the fans, especially given the close practices to the Carolina Panthers, was just what the doctor ordered. And as a fan, you should appreciate that, right? Obviously, like I said, people who don't get out a lot or people who just, are looking for a night on the town, man, it's a good thing for them, all right? So kudos to them. They said the energy was high. Okay. Energy was high in the building. Asher Harvey, a Make-A-Wish kid, was able to score a touchdown in FanFest, okay? Which was amazing, right? I appreciate the philanthropy and the feedback, given to the community. When the Carolina Panthers brought in, they signed Asher Harvey for a day. Believe it or not, they signed him to a training camp little deal here just for fun, right? Make-A-Wish kid, 6-year-old, was able to score a touchdown. I'm pretty sure he'll never forget that in his life. Very special event, and the crowd was hyped for it, all right? Let's see. What else we had going on here? Chris Brazel situation update. According to Canales, he said we wanted to make sure we did the right thing for Chris long term. So let's get all the information. And as the days went on, what you like to get is initial imaging and the kind of see how he responds, and following the day and do more testing. And the more information we gathered, with everybody putting their heads together and landing on this and the best course for him long term to be able to get that knee stable to get him back on track. So salute to the Carolina Panthers. I guess after you know um, I know at one point in time they were talking about reconsidering just doing rehab and probably trying to strengthen his knee, but long term, longevity is to kind of just go ahead and shut him down. I don't know if he'll have surgery here or whatever, but they did say he is done for the year. Canales did speak on Xavier Legette and his role coming up now that Brazel is done. And I quote, "It is business as usual for X. We have big plans for him. He's got big plans for himself. He's been working hard at it again and had a great offseason and carried it right into training camp. You saw he made a couple plays. The timing is there between him and Bryce. He understands what we're trying to get done. He's working his butt off. And so I'm really proud of what he has and what he at and can't wait to go from there. Where he's at and where he can't go from there." Okay? All right. And that's pretty much the gist of that. More wide receiver room talk. Shout out to the veterans who came back as well, man. Carolina Panthers did open up the initial drum ceremony with a bunch of former Carolina Panthers coming back into town, beating on the drum, right, man? So that was really dope. Captain Mutterland, I believe, was the KK was there. I believe Thomas Davis was there. Kudos to those gentlemen for showing up and, like I said, making it feel like a homey atmosphere and really, upholding the standards of Carolina Panthers, right? Greatness, right? And like I said, this was the first time that you guys really publicly got a chance to take a peek, given the fact that the Panthers are working on their practice facility, so on and so on. Chris Brazel was there as well. He was on a scooter, motorized scooter. I'm not sure exactly what to call it, but he was on a little motorized scooter. It's good to see him with his knee wrapped up as well. Tommy Tremble, Mitchell Evans did not practice, our tight ends. Again, Bryce Young, T-Mac continued to get that work in. Jimmy Horn was able to do punt returns during live duties during the night. Okay. What else we got here? I think that's just about the gist of Haynes King, man. Haynes King looked pretty decent. Had a big completion to Jasim Reed for a completion across the middle. I'm expecting for the Carolina Panthers to necessarily not have any starters play next Thursday. And the reason being is the injury risk is just too high. So we got an extra preseason game there. I don't think the Panthers will make that call to have anybody play. I would be shocked, okay? So expect to see a lot of Haynes King and Kenny Pickett out there. As far as the quarterback situation, offensive line, they brought in a lot of, camp bodies. So I'm expecting for those guys to get some work as well. Same with the running backs, wide receiver room. You know what I mean? If anything, the wide receiver or two may play like a series or two, right? But outside of that, man, business as usual. Okay? All right, let's go back to our main screen here. Now, I want to talk to you guys tonight about an unfortunate situation here. Kind of give you a history of the situation too, man. Because a lot of people, they're very uninformed about the history of this situation. I'm distraught, y'all. I'm actually heartbroken here because it shouldn't be tolerated in this community to where an individual will hijack the community for the purpose of, I don't know if it's financial gain or popularity or whatever it may be. It's not right the way certain people carry on, especially when you're associated with the kind of content and stuff that this gentleman does. There's a certain Carolina Panthers podcaster in this community who I won't mention his name. The gentleman and I have a long-standing history of disagreement. This history, it stems from over 3+ years of working together during the COVID season. Was the height in which my channel, Panthers Uncensored, Keep Pounding TV, I was one of the biggest content creators out here, okay, on that channel. I have now converted that channel to a satire channel, which I literally go over there and I play and just make fun of things, yada, yada, yada. But there's no monetary value. It's just literally just a satire channel, okay? But the history between me and this other gentleman expounds upon 3+ years, with the hype growing into the COVID season, right? That's why I really took off. Got a lot of fan base. A lot of you guys know me from there, and if you don't know me, that's where that's where I initially grew my channel at, right? Till I said I want to start over, come over here, start a new channel, and kind of grow it up the right way. During those years, and this is gonna be a little boring, so I know this is not your typical Carolina Panthers content. Unfortunately, like I said, I hate that we even have to bring this up. I would rather talk to you about football takes, stuff like that. But I just want to make sure everybody's safe when they're attending games. Okay. So that's the reason why, y'all. That's just truly what the reason why. I'm not worried about myself at all. But for the others, you know what I mean? Because, the gentleman has a reckless disposition, meaning that there's no logical fallacy into considering the repercussions of his actions, and there will be repercussions for his actions, right? Anywho, throughout those years that I worked with this gentleman, it was at times it was good. Okay, there was times where it's good. Let me say this: when I became a Carolina Panthers podcaster, I started off on Facebook, right? I started off doing giveaways and stuff, right? I would give away little keychains, little beer mug holders, footballs, helmets, stuff like that, right? Just so people could hear and listen to my takes, right? I didn't want to take anything from anybody. I wanted to give, okay? And at that point in time, you know what I mean? I started to get a little traction, and as I got a little traction there, man, I said, why not push it over to YouTube? Give me 1 second, y'all. So, when it comes to this Carolina Panthers podcast, at least from my end, I made myself, right? Nobody ever made me. Everything that I learned on my own. When I first got into the YouTube game, I learned, there was only a handful of Carolina Panthers content creators. Shout out to the great Sheltron, okay? Shout out to C3, right? Shout out to Pat Coltrane. Those were my OGs, right? Those were my OGs and people who I looked up to when it comes to this Carolina Panthers game, because that's who I came into it on, right? But as I started to kind of span from Facebook to YouTube, you know what I mean? I said, let me try my hand on YouTube, and again, my big personality. A lot of you guys love it, some of you guys hate it. You know what I mean? And that's cool, man. But it's my personality to have, right? And it's authentic. This is nothing fake about me. So yeah, as I started growing YouTube, a lot of you guys gave me a listen and gave me a chance, and I'm thankful and I'm grateful for that. And naturally, what happens when you start to get success and you start to grow, people want to attach themselves to you, and that's what happened, right? I never needed anybody. I never needed anybody to grow my channel. It was always these big shoulders I got, and the Lord Savior Jesus Christ, and also my just natural gift of gab and natural gift of invoking thoughts or invoking emotion when it comes to content, right? And yeah, so I continued to grow that channel for about anywhere between 7-8 years straight, and made it probably at that time the biggest Carolina Panthers channel out there. And fortunately, I guess unfortunately, when stuff gets to the point to where it's starting to grow and it's starting to make money, when it's starting to get notoriety, people want to jump on board. And if I could do it all over again, I probably would have told everybody no. You know what I mean? I allow for and so if you guys are wondering, like, let me just slow down, because this is gonna be boring. This is really gonna be boring, but this is important about what happened last night for those who don't know. Um when I was growing the channel, man, if you're looking at the platform far as the Carolina Panthers community, right? A lot of what you see is resemblance of me. You know what I mean? Again, I don't want to say that I'm taking credit for anybody's success. You know what I mean? Obviously, it takes dedication and consistency to maintain what you do. But the conceptual idea of a lot of people's platform had came from me. I gave birth to that concept. The live interactive podcast where you have people click on links or people call in live and get those response live and hit the link. A lot of that stuff came from me in this community, right? And it's not me to my horn. I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to take any success for anybody, but it is what it is. I have a lot of conceptual babies out there when it comes to the concept of what they do. Now they may do a tweak here and there when it comes to their content, but as far as giving birth to the idea, that was me. When I got in the game, there's a lot of things about me that it really upset the establishment, right? The big personality, the loud mouth, the entertaining, the creativity, and the boldness and the audacity to speak the truth. It made a lot of people uncomfortable. It made a lot of people uncomfortable, right? And but for as many people as it made uncomfortable, it made just as many people equally excited because it was a reprieve. It was a breath of fresh air to see somebody come into this community and speak with the audacity and to be able to speak with the freedom. And people appreciate the raw nature and unfiltered content, hence the term Panthers Uncensored Keep on the TV. And yeah, man. So that inspired a lot of your content creators today to kind of adapt to that. And what I will say is, if I could go back all over again, I would just have kept myself on the platform. You know me, I'm a loving guy. I rock with those who rock with me, right? You show me love, I show you love back, right? You support me, I support you, right? It means a lot. Loyalty over everything. LOE. You know what I mean? LOE, baby. Loyalty over everything. And so the biggest mistake I ever did was open my heart and platform to people who didn't deserve it. Not everybody deserved to smell your flowers. You know what I mean? Some people deserve to hold the thorns. And unfortunately, man, I think, me being as naive and as joyful, believing that people actually had your back when it came to supporting your vision and being there for you, that led to the downfall of probably the biggest Carolina Panthers channel at that time, which is kind of reduced to nothing now. It's just a satire channel. Um, but what I will say is this: I don't want y'all to talk crazy about nobody in the chat. We don't want to do that. I understand. I know a lot of you guys are mad. I'm upset too, but I don't want you to call nobody out their name. Just y'all just don't even touch it, dog. You know what I mean? I don't want y'all to call nobody out their name or disrespect anybody. I understand. I know you guys are upset. I'm upset too. I'm upset too. Y'all just kind of keep it respectful. But when I let certain individuals up on my channel and I started a podcast where people called in, people would hit the link, you know what I mean? It allowed for other people's personalities to kind of take off. Now, dealing with certain content creators that I kind of, gave conceptual ideas and just like, look, bro, let's be honest. Let's just be real about it. When you work with somebody who's being innovative, when you're working with somebody who's creative, obviously, bro, it's like you're gonna be inspired. There's nothing wrong with being inspired, right? Just like the person who worked for Apple or the person who worked for Google, and then they went on to start their own company or whatever, right? They're not gonna sit here and say, "Well, I ain't learned nothing from them." That's a lie, right? And that's okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you know what I mean? Nonetheless, even if you start your own company, you still have to pay homage to where you got your concept from. But the gentleman I let up on my platform, I remember specifically, and I hate to do this, but specifically, I remember having phone conversations, privately, in which, we talk about the gentleman being enamored. Okay, the gentleman was enamored in the way I conducted myself. This was early. This was early. The gentleman may not remember this, but I do. The gentleman was enamored in the way I moved. Okay, like I said, there was nothing like it. At that point in time, there was nothing like, the big cat and people loved it. They loved the high energy. They loved the authenticity, right? This was not fake. That was real. That's me, dog. They loved the bold talking, right? And I remember the gentleman said, I remember, and I quote, I remember you were drinking a beer on live and you were sitting back talking junk. And I just remember like, man, you can do that? Close quote. The gentleman himself said I was enamored to the point to where like, how could you do that? How can you do that? You know what I mean? So with that being said, I allowed for the gentleman to come on the channel along with others, okay? There was multiple co-hosts or whatever. And a gentleman who otherwise you would not have known, right? I think early stages, the gentleman, we used to have a phone line. We used to have a phone number where you could call in. The gentleman would call in, give his takes. And I think a lot of people liked it, the sound of his voice. And a lot of people liked it, the charisma, right? You know what I mean? And that was it initially, before I said, come on and be a co-host here, okay? The sound of his voice sounded so familiar that I even gave the gentleman a nickname. In case you guys don't know, the gentleman's nickname is the one I came up with because his voice sounded like every family member's relative, which is, you got your auntie and you got your, so that was the gentleman's nickname. Throughout that time period, that three to 5 year time period, I done a lot of things wrong here. I will say that, man. When it came to that channel, and I acknowledge that, and I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? To grow, you have to learn from your mistakes, and you have to learn from your failures, right? And you build upon your success. And one of my biggest failures, other than bringing people on, was to kind of have my motives crossed, right? Initially, when I first got into the game of content and podcasting, my motive was strictly, to keep my raw, authentic take. But as I seen that it became a lucrative field or lucrative positioning, I kind of got blindsided or lost behind a couple dollars, right? I think initially the intentions were there to just kind of have you guys support, or those who were watching support, like via cash apps, stuff like that. I was the initial person to do that, to have the cash app on the screen. And you guys oblige me. I'm not gonna lie, you guys oblige me with your financial support, and I appreciate the heck out of that so much. But you gotta understand, during the COVID year, there was nothing else to do but to go on YouTube and stuff like that. People was in the house, and the money was coming in. Financially, the money was coming in, and here you are, the big draw, right? When you go to a Carolina Panthers game, when you go to a concert, you go there to see the main attraction, right? You go there to see the main attraction. And I was the main attraction, dog. And shout out to Kendall, that's my boy. What's up, Kendall? So when you came to my channel during the COVID year, although there were other savory characters like Leo and others, shout out to my dog Leo too, and other people that were there, I was the main draw. So when it came to the cash apps, super stickers, stuff like that, I got a bulk of that. I got the bulk of that. And unfortunately, man, people just, you know, um, I don't want to get into numbers, but it was a lot of money. And yeah, obviously when you bring in co-hosts and people like that, I start to get kind of buck, right? And you know, one thing I will say that kind of caught me off guard, and maybe I should have, there were some couple people that I'm not going to mention their name. There were some couple people in the past that, shout out to Kendall Francis. What's up, boy? There was a couple people that kind of let me know what was what ahead of time. I was naive. This is on me. I blame the way I looked at this individual on me, because I was naive. I was very naive. I thought this gentleman was an upstanding gentleman. And I didn't necessarily keep my eyes on the snakish tendencies, right? So, but there were some other people who I will give credit to. I'm not gonna mention their name. I don't want to draw nobody else into this. They kind of let me know what was what. I always thought that because the gentleman never said anything publicly, that the gentleman was cool. You know what I mean? But I will always hear, like I said, I always had loyal niggas, LOE nigga, you know what I mean? I always had loyal niggas around me that would always keep their ears to the grind, right? And they will always let me know, like, yo, man, I'm hearing this, I'm hearing that. I'm like, nah, that can't be. I never addressed it. Nah, that's some gossipy stuff, right? You know what I mean? And like I said, as the money was raking in, right? That's when the real problem started. If I was doing this for free back in the day, I don't know if we would have even a problem at all. But because there's money involved, I think people change, and that's definitely true. What I will say is this: I definitely believe that the gentleman drew conceptual creativity from me. Rightfully so, right? You sit up under a big entity and you learn the formula, right? Even so much so, I remember taking my time out of the day for free to teach gentlemen about thumbnails and about SEO, you know what I mean, description, important description, triggering titles, stuff like that, right? You know what I mean? Basic stuff that you can Google yourself, but just kind of what I did to kind of grow. And that's what you do, right? When you want to grow, you mimic success, right? You mimic those who had success before you. So I believe at one point in time, the gentleman wanted to expound upon trying himself as a content creator, and that's cool. I promote growth. I recommend growth. You know what I mean? I think it's important to grow. So as again in the early 2020s, you see me getting money. You see me putting everybody on. You know what I mean? You see all this other stuff. In the back of, I believe in this gentleman's mind, you got to be looking like, hey, why am I splitting the pot when I can literally start my own channel and I could, get the pot myself? You know what I mean? Right, and rightfully so. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I just believe that you must be forthcoming in your movement, right? If I'm your friend, if I'm your dog, if I'm your associate, whatever I am to you at the time that made you rock with me, if that's how you felt, just come out and say, hey, look, man, I appreciate what you've done for me. I appreciate you allowing me to be up here. I appreciate, all of that, but I'm going to go ahead and try myself. I'm going to try my hand at doing this myself, man. No disrespect. I'm just going to move on. You know what I mean? And, whether you want to just say, hey, I'm doing it because I feel like I can get my own money, or I want to move on because I offended you, whatever it may be, just be forthcoming, okay? And it's really unfortunate, man. It's really unfortunate, man, because the gentleman kind of distanced himself during a time where I was coming down from, being on top of the game. You're only as useful to somebody as long as you have something to offer. You know what I mean? At least in the fake people's minds or whatever, right? When you truly say I rock with somebody, you dare with them, dog. From the rooter to the tutor, brother. You dare with them from the top to the bottom. But that was naive. That was on me. That was my being naive, dog. Who am I? Who was I to think that getting into a game by myself, a nobody nigga from Georgia, grown a channel from scratch to over 20,000, actually has support to rely on somebody to be there when you fall, or to be there when you struggle, or when the clicks don't come in, or when your video's not being recommended, or you were going through a mental phase in which you didn't know what to kind of expect at that time. Who was I to believe that? My judgment was clouded because I strayed off the path, dog. I actually got off the path. My mind was on the green. You know what I mean? And I lost a lot of good subscribers behind that, bro. I lost a lot of good subscribers behind that. And I already don't apologize for that. But when it mattered the most, those who built you up and shit, they ran. They fleeted. They snaked you. They dished you. Shout out to Elaine. What's up, boy? They snaked the nigga. They snaked the nigga clean. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I don't know if you guys believe in biblical proportion here, but you remember, I don't want to go too far into the Bible, but when it comes to the angels in heaven, right? Lucifer wanted to be like Jesus. I'm not saying I'm Jesus. Don't do that. I'm just giving you a parable. Okay, I'm giving you a parable. But Lucifer wanted to be like Jesus so bad that he convinced 33% of the angels. Lucifer wanted to be like Jesus so bad that he convinced 33% of the angels to turn on him. They were trying to snake Jesus. And a lot of people's subscribers, I'm not going to mention any names, was about 33%. A lot of people's subscribers used to be my subscribers, and they, you know what I mean? I don't know what it was. I know what it was. It was the money thing, right? It was the money situation. And not only the money situation, I believe there were some personal disagreements, right? But the gentleman was too cowardly. The gentleman would rather tote guns and promote gangster shit than to say, hey, I don't like this. And so I'm going to slow down here. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit long here, but this is important to what happened last night. So what happened, man, when it comes to that gentleman, I believe the gentleman was suppressed in his emotion. He was compromised. Not only was he compromised because he wanted financial support, he's also compromised by some of his belief probably didn't align with my belief, right? Shout out to Elaine. He said, no magic man talk. That's my guy. Shout out to my dog, E. Yeah. But what I'll say is I believe the gentleman was compromised. So if you guys don't know, man, I used to run my channel, Panthers Uncensored Keep Pounding TV. I would run it almost like a corporate structure. Before I would hit the live button, because I had co-hosts, I would have everybody that was a co-host on there. We would have a Zoom meeting. Okay, today we're going to start off talking about this, that, the third, this football, this topic, yada, yada, yada. I would have conversations. Does anybody have a problem with Leo? Everybody know Leo's a big animated guy. You know what I mean? Yeah, give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Yeah, man. So, give me 1 second here, brother. So yeah, I would run it like a corporate structure. Like anybody got a problem with what Leo said, right? You know, and I blame it on myself. If I go back and I look at the structure of what I did, I blame it on myself because initially, within the first hour or two of talking football, it was great. It was great. It was great. No problem, no nothing. We had people call in, hit the link, stuff like that, man. But as the show went on, man, you only could talk football for like 2 hours, dog. Hour, you usually get my take, and then you get an hour, you guys just take, and I should have got up out of there. But what happened was I allowed for a lot of animated people and a lot of people who really aren't the brightest people to come up there, and they'll just, eventually it'll lead to fights, arguments, stuff like that. And then, but I couldn't stop, dog, because the money was coming in. Believe it or not, you guys loved the drama. You loved the drama. You loved it. You guys were like magnets. So much so that you were willing to pay for it. And instead of me having integrity and just cutting the show, okay, we're done, I allowed for it to go on. I was compromised, and rightfully so. And I own up to that. Shout out to Third Coach. He said, bro, old buddy still got static after all this time. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna get to him. That's what we're talking about. He's an old buddy, got static up all this time. Yeah, I want to talk about that here. Um, so yeah, I was compromised, you know, doing these live streams, and you know, I mean, that's what kind of ruined the channel. Anyway, um, once the channel began to fall off, um, you start to see people's real hands and real feelings, right? A lot of times during these shows, I started noticing things, you know, subtly, where people would be like, "Oh, I can't make it to a meeting." Like I have live streams where we have a little conversation behind the scenes. I can't make it to a meeting. Me and the gentleman family was supposed to meet up in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, right? Myrtle Beach. We went to 4th of July on the beach, right? Very beautiful thing. I said, man, like I said, I was naive, dog. I thought this was a good brother, man. I thought this was a good dude, dog. You know what I mean? Not that the gentleman owes me anything, and not that I owe him anything, but you would think if we get money together, you know what I mean? Because nobody knew who he was. Like I said, bro, like, you know, I was a trampoline for niggas. I was a trampoline for niggas. You know what I mean? If I help you jump into the game, dog, you know what I mean? And I should have listened to 50 Cent. He said love don't love you back. He damn sure right about that. But you know what I mean? I just don't understand it to the extent, but you know, I allow for the gentleman to springboard off into the game off of my shoulders. I don't did, you know, birthday cash app. Y'all, you know, hit the subscribe button for this gentleman. Y'all hit the cash app for this gentleman. Y'all, you know, donate. You know what I mean? We don't have, you know what I mean? I don't let niggas use their voice on my channel at the time, the biggest channel. You know what I mean? I'm letting niggas get money in this channel. You know what I mean? I thought niggas were cool, dog. And like I said, I should have known the subtle things, dog. When I started to see the gentleman, we were supposed to meet up in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, for a 4th of July party or whatever. And I called the gentleman. I'm like, yo, man, you pulling up? Oh yeah, yeah, I'll be there. Okay, nigga, it's like a day before. You still gonna be here? Yeah, yeah, I'll be there. You know, not to say that people can't drive down the day of, but yeah. So then, yeah, and then just I guess you know. Then I got the call. No, I can't make it. Oh, okay. I should have known then something was spicy, dog. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, shit was cold, bro. It was cold, but then I started noticing, man, like I went through a phase on the channel. Naturally, when you see the regression of something, you get a little down about it, right? So you get a little down about it, but I didn't care. You know what I mean? The team was sucking. The Carolina Panthers sucked at the time, and you know, shout out to uh. Oh, what's up, boy? Got a blackness, man. Keep pounding. What's up, got a blackness? What's up, dog? Thank you for that super sticker, brother. That's got a blackness, man. That's the OG right there, man. Shout out to God of Blackness. Man, no time no see, brother. Thank you for that super. That's my dog, man. Shout out to God of Blackness, man. Yeah. That's all right, man. What's up, man? That's all right, brother. That's all right. That made my day, man. Shout out to God of Blackness, dog. How you been, brother? How you been? But yeah, man, I got in the game, man, and dog, it really messed me up, man. Like, you know, because I was coming down. Think about it. First of all, man, when I got in the game, I really didn't have too much expectation. You know what I mean? Money wasn't on my mind like that, dog. You know what I mean? It was about making content, man. It was strictly about making content. I'm doing blessed, brother. It's good to hear from you, man. That made my day, man. Shout out to you, brother. Yeah, man. It was all about making content, right? And I took a zero subscriber guy from Facebook to a 20,000 subscriber, millions of views. I got a chance to do a pilot with Amazon, right? Amazon had a little pilot for me. They didn't pick it up. Um, I got a chance to meet players. I did a Bojangles commercial for the chicken sandwich. Didn't get picked up. Got paid. Um, what else, man? WinView Games, Bet US, Better. I mean, things I could never imagine, where not just affiliate deals, right? Where you get paid like, hey, sign up for this, you get paid. Those are called affiliate deals. I was having money put in my pocket, guaranteed. I want to give you X amount. I want to give you $1,500 over the course of each month for the season. I want to give you 2,000 guaranteed, regardless of what you do. That was just mind blowing, dog. And a lot of people seen that I was so called rocking with, dog, and they didn't like that, dog. They didn't appreciate that. You know what I mean? Or maybe they were inspired to the point to where they say, I'm just gonna go ahead and just do my own channel, and that's cool. Like I said, ain't nobody tripping off that. You know what I mean? But make your intentions clear. You know what I mean? My daddy always raised me to make your intentions clear, dog. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Make your intentions clear. If and what I would do is during these meetings behind the scenes, I will make sure anybody had any problem, you get them out before we go live. And they know that. For those who do, they know that. They always know that. Before we go live, I want anybody to tell me, do you have a problem with this? Does anybody have a problem with Leo? Oh, I got a problem with Leo. I got a problem with Leo. Today we're going to talk about the black community being this or that. Or we're going to talk about black women. You know what I mean? This person does that. Do you got a problem with this antic here? You know what I mean? Oh, I got a problem. I got no problem. But really, I believe that gentleman, and not only him, but today we're talking about him. I believe that gentleman and others had some issues with some of the stuff that was being conducted. So naturally, when the channel began to regress, it made it so easy for him to jump off. And I noticed, man, as the channel began to decline, at one point in time, I was locked out of my channel. I actually forgot my password. I was locked out for 3 months, and that's how another channel took over. I'm not going to mention their name, but salute to them. They're doing their thing. Stay off the drama, kids. I'm going to tell you this now. For any Panther content creator out there watching, stay off the drama. If you want to grow your channel, stay off the drama. Shit like this, stay away from this. I apologize to any Carolina Panthers content creator that got to deal with stuff like this. Grow your channel, stay focused on the goal, keep God first, and stay off the drama. But I believe, like I said, when the channel started coming down, because I was locked out, then I finally got back. Then it made it easy. I started noticing people stop coming around. And like I said, nobody owes me anything. I'm just talking about this gentleman. This gentleman was one of the people that stopped coming around. I noticed that there was always an excuse when it was time to do something important, like if we had like a certain topic, that breaking news topic or trending topic. And then I started noticing at times where the gentleman started going live when I would go live, and I'm like, hey, wait a minute, you know what I mean? So breaking news would have happened, you know what I mean? Instead of him like, yo, man, just be honest. That's all I asked, bro. All you had to ever do was be honest. Hey, dog. Hey, man. Look, I'm growing my channel, dog. I appreciate what you did. I just wanna go focus on me right now. But instead of getting that, what I did get was, yeah, I can't make it, dog. Oh man, I got the little baby. Oh, next thing I know, niggas going live. You know what I mean? Like, whoa. The last straw really was for about 6 months. We got disconnected. I actually got rid of my old phone, lost a lot of numbers in there. And but this was during a time where the gentleman already was acting funny, so it wasn't like I was missing anything. The last live I had did as far as Panthers content, I kind of did just like a little celebration where I took a little retirement, right? I took a little retirement. I said, I'm done with this football stuff. You guys, that's why I'm back now, right? I'm back here now. I took a little retirement. And so I said, one last time, let me just show love to everybody that showed love to me, right? And I mean, you had people from out the woodwork popping in. Everybody. People that I thought had forgot about me had came back. And listen, man, and let me say this, and I'll say it again. I already did it before, but I'll say it again. A lot of people, man, I owe you an apology, man. You know what I mean? And that's sincere. I genuinely sincere. A lot of you guys genuinely just want to talk football. And I apologize from the heart. You know what I mean? I got clouded, man. The money made me, listen. Money made a nigga. I'm older now, bro. I'm older now. You know what I mean? So, although the essence of who I am is still there, I mean, I learned a lot too, okay? And I apologize to the ones who strictly wanted to hear football content. I did. And at the time, I was motivated by the money, and I just said, "F it, F those who want to talk football. Let's get this money." And yeah, that's what happened, man. And I noticed the last live stream I had did, as far as me saying I'm going away, I got to get my mind together. My mind was clouded. You know what I mean? I'm showing love to everybody I work with. Shout out to C Dougie. I told C Dougie how I felt about him. Shout out to him. He was a good brother. You know, everybody came back. It felt good. It felt like almost like a reprieve, right? To kind of finally say the things that are hard to say, to get the things off your chest, right? And yeah, everybody showed up except one person. And this is when I knew this was real, right? You know what I mean? Despite whether you feel like you're better than somebody, despite whether you feel like, you know, I don't like this person, despite whatever narrative, and a lot of this stuff is self-derived narratives. The gentleman created self-narratives in his head about me, right? You know what I mean? The gentleman was too cowardly to confront and ask me or to speak like a man. You know, that's what your father does. Your father teaches you to take the tough task and to face them head on. The gentleman would do feminine things and go behind the scenes and, you know, express to others about it. You know what I mean? But during that time when we had a final farewell shit, you know what I mean? The gentleman wasn't there. You know what I mean? And when you have a mentor in this game is tough, dog. There's no money in YouTube. There's no significant amount of money in YouTube unless you have millions of views and millions of followers. I know that. I've been there. I've done that. Unless you got millions of views or millions of followers, or you have a bunch of sponsors where you either get your money up front or you got a bunch of affiliate deals that people are buying into. If people are not clicking the affiliate links, or if you don't have sponsors that's giving you an outright fee, like I used to get them like for 3 months at a time. So WinView Games, right? WinView Games, man, shout out to them, great sponsor. They signed a deal with me for $1,500 over the course of 3 months, of each month for the 3 months. So it was like September, October, November, December, 4 months, excuse me. So it was 4 months, $1,500 flat rate, no matter what. I would push and promote the product. So if you're not getting money through straight up sponsorships, affiliate deals, there's no money in YouTube. Unless, you know, like I said, Cash App, you know what I mean? People Cash App you. And that's discreetly up to them. But I noticed that last live, man, the dude wasn't there. Silence speaks the loudest. Okay? Silence speaks the loudest. And I started to notice, like I said, nobody owes you anything. That is a fact. Nobody owes you anything. But I appreciate honesty, even if it's the hard, brutal truth. That's one of the reasons why, you know, certain people don't like certain presidents, and that's certain reason why I respect certain presidents. Because although it may not be what you want to hear, I appreciate you being direct and forthcoming with that. You may not like it, but I appreciate what you had to say. The gentleman would always do snakish, feminine stuff. So, with that being said, dog, after that live stream where I kind of retired, briefly retired, I started to notice more and more slick dissing coming out. I started to notice, yeah, we don't get tired over here. Yeah, niggas need to pick up their pace. Yeah, we ain't taking no break. Oh, wait a minute. Where'd that come from, little daddy? Nigga 5'9" talking like a 6'5" nigga. Okay. Where'd that come from? Where'd that come from, little daddy? Little daddy talking big. But yeah, man, you know what I mean, nigga. I just didn't understand it. But like I said, to go back to what I said earlier in my podcast, I was already hearing little bitty stuff early in the day, but I ignored it. I ignored it, say y'all tripping, y'all just being nasty, y'all just being messy. But when I'm starting to hear it and see it from my own eyes, I said, okay, there was a problem there. And it's sad because a lot of so-called quote-unquote subscribers or followers, they were buying into this. You don't know me. And that's what we're going to talk about here in just a second, what happened last night. I'm drawing this out for a reason. I'm painting you a picture for a reason. It's not fair to do this any justice without painting you a full picture. I could paint you a piece of the picture, or I can show you the entire photo. So if you don't, and this is for anybody who's listening, those who support me, salute. For those who support him, salute to you guys. If you don't know the dynamics of this, please don't put yourself in between it. That is a very dangerous situation. And we'll get to that in just a second and why I believe or what's going on with that. But the gentleman began to make slick this and stuff when I was retiring, even so much so to where mentally I wasn't in the right spot because I was retiring. I was messed up. I'm like, man, I grew a channel to 20,000 subscribers. Now it's reduced to Rebels or a satire channel, right? It's a satire channel now. And now, I'm dealing with the fact that a once and prominent channel in the Panthers community is now being overtook by bigger channels and people who I've seen come from behind me, you know what I mean, now shot past me, you know what I mean? The competitiveness in me didn't sit well with me, you know what I mean? So you would think a nigga would be like, you know what I mean, man, dog, take all the time you need. If somebody say, look, dog, mentally, I'm not in the right head space, instead of you clowning that nigga, instead of you trying to find a way to sabotage a nigga, the nigga took a vulnerable spot in a nigga's YouTube career trajectory, if you want to say that. I don't know if you can call it a career or whatever, but it took that as an opportunity, right? There was no real friend. So it's almost like the symbiosis and the parasite. Anybody know anything about biology or you know what I mean? Where they hijack the fly gets hijacked, right? And they use the fly for to lay eggs inside of it, right? And then what happens is the egg dies. I mean, the fly dies. The larva comes out. They eat the insides of the fly, and then they give birth to what it is. That is a maggot. What he did was a maggot-like tendency. You hijack somebody who was successful. You rode their coattail. You took from them. You laid your eggs inside of their fertile ground. And as that fly began to die, you ate the insides of that person. And then you went on and started what you started. And then you say, hey, ain't nobody do nothing to me. Hey, I did it. It's a real perverse thing. It's a disgusting, perverse behavior. So throughout that situation, man, I started to realize, like I said, while I was retired, more and more little nuances where this gentleman was coming out. Not only that, man, I started to see other people join on, right? I started to see more and more subscribers go over there and start to co-sign, right? And rightfully so. You have the right to love who you want to love. And nobody stopped that here. Like I said earlier, man, I honestly believe that a lot of people, they got mad because they got mad because give me a second here. Oh yeah, I got you, brother. Yeah, give me 1 second. Yeah, I got you, brother. Yeah. So as time went on, the more and more shade about who I was, taking breaks, my content, this, that, and the third. And the gentleman would do it so subtly that most of you guys, it went right over your head. Like I said, if you're not close to the situation, it'll look like he's just talking, right? We don't get breaks. We don't get tired. If you don't know the situation, it'll go right over your head. Oh, he just making that statement. When the nigga used to go live, and not only go live on my channel, but the nigga used to go live on other people's channel when they would go live. I had conversation where this was a strategy of his. The nigga would intentionally set his live to a bigger podcast live and try to go live and try to take views or whatever, some kind of just monkey-minded stuff like that. And then the sad part about it is shout out to Donna B. Hey, baby girl, how you doing? She said, can't we all just get along, make peace, and keep it football? I would love that. I don't know about the get along part, but peace is good. Definitely peace is good. But what I will say is this, man. During that time where the gentleman was kept sick, this and all this other stuff like that, I started to see more and more people get involved from the crowd. And a lot of people, like I said, that had they didn't know. You don't know the intricacies, dog. And the very same toxic behavior and demonstrative mentality that I had that ruined my channel, the gentleman adopted it, right? As a mentor, you always hope to have people take the good from you. You don't ever want to have anybody adopt your toxic behavior, right? But the gentleman took the toxic traits that was lucrative and took that and made a foundation off of it. And now it's really, man, I kind of blame myself for that, because although I did have my ways, I also had a lot of good, man. The journalistic part. Y'all don't know, man. I had an article in the LA Times, man, when the Rams played the Carolina Panthers. They had cited one of my videos and did a whole mock-up article. That's journalism. Based off of the top end saying, why not adopt that? Why not adopt that? Why not adopt the good in me, bro? Why not adopt the ability to bring people together? A lot of you guys will never ever be in the same room together. A lot of you guys will never be on the same channel together. But if it wasn't for the Carolina Panthers content creator, you know what I mean, that brought you guys together just to talk football, you guys will never be here. But instead, the gentleman took the fact that the nigga shit, the toxic shit, money, the scams, the lying shit. The nigga adopted that one. I ain't never scammed nobody, but nigga took all that other stuff and made that his foundation. And then other people bought into it and they joined in on it, man. So much so, man, to where it finally came to a head. I took my hiatus. I finally came back. I didn't come back to talk football. I came back on my old channel just to chop it with my people. And there was a gentleman by the name of Nick Trostate. And Nick Trostate ended up having an issue with this gentleman. And when Nick Trostate had an issue with this gentleman, he would come on my platform. Now, mind you, about 6 months, I sat back and I watched this guy slick this. I watched this guy not reach out. You know, it's funny. It's funny how people reach out. They reach out when they feel like it's convenient, right? Although you didn't have my number, you had my email. You know people that I know. You got different access to me. If you truly, really wanted to reach out, my nigga, you knew how to reach out. You didn't want to because you didn't give a shit. Let's not act like you did. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Don't lie to people and say, hey, man, this nigga cut me off or whatever the fuck the narrative was, right? So I went live on my old channel. And like I said, I wasn't a football channel no more. I conceded. And I was just literally a satire channel where we have guys come over, we talk, yada, yada, yada. This gentleman by the name of Nick Trostate calls in who had a beef with the other gentleman. Now, for 6 months, I sat back, I watched this guy slick this me talk crap. It went over a lot of you guys' head. So from a lot of you guys, I see why you rock with him, because you don't know you didn't know this. A lot of you guys didn't know that. A lot of you guys said, he just picking on you. He making fun of you, big cat. Big man, or whatever the dude name is. He making fun of you. He picking on you. But you guys didn't see the subtle jabs. Me and my niggas sat back for 6 months, quiet. Me and my niggas for 6 months sat back. Y'all see this? Y'all hear this? Niggas inboxing me. What do you mean by that? Ain't that referring to you? So a lot of you niggas, if you didn't know that, I see why you say, okay, he's sucking. Man, he hating on big what's name. Okay. So when Nick Tri-State came back for that first live, Nick Tri-State felt some kind of way towards that gentleman. Had nothing to do with me, by the way. Nick Tri-State got on my live, and he started making derogatory. I guess he called the dude auntie. I guess he called the dude auntie, which he didn't come up with. Shout out to my nigga Elaine. But I believe he called the gentleman auntie, and started making fun of him. You know what I mean? I didn't think nothing of it. You know what I mean? Because at this point in time, the way I felt about the gentleman was severed. You go without 6 months out contacting a nigga, right? Not only did you go 6 months without contacting a nigga, let's say, like I said, I got a new phone. Let's say something happened to me. Let's say something happened to me. I was in a hospital or something, right? If you really rock with somebody, you could have easily shot an email and said, yo, dog, you okay? I ain't heard from you. Last time I heard from you, you said you were leaving the game. No email, no text message, no nothing. If you really cared, not that I need your care or your concern or well wishes, but what I'm saying is these are the narratives that people play, right? These are the games niggas play. So at this point in time, when Nick Tri-State begins to talk his junk, I'm cool. That ain't my nigga no more, bro. That ain't my homie no more, dog. But I'm publicly quiet about it. Me, my niggas, my people on the back end, it's done. But we quiet about it. We respectfully quiet. We respect, because we seen the slick this, going live on top of niggas, talking crap about niggas' content. Niggas out here being nigga got mental issues. Where nigga wives at, and niggas out here getting tired. Niggas afraid to step on the gas. We seeing all this shit, bro. Niggas quiet. Niggas quiet. We moving like G's. Real quiet, dog. So, you know, bro, like, when all this is going down, dog, Nick Tri-State he's starting to talk crap about this gentleman. And I'm sitting back, I'm laughing. I'm clowning, I'm laughing. The niggas doing the famous, yeah, and all this other stuff. He's doing all of that. He making fun of, he fooling up on a nigga. He fooling up on a nigga. Ain't my nigga. I don't care no more. Although I ain't saying nothing publicly, I'm sitting back, you know what I mean? I'm having a good time with me and my niggas. Lo and behold, for 6 months, a nigga who I ain't never seen come back to the channel. I ain't never seen a nigga hit me up on a PM. A nigga pops into the chat with some eye emojis. I see you. Now, mind you, when a nigga was retiring, when a nigga was going through some rough stuff, nigga was going through, conceding the channel, niggas giving niggas his flowers, trying to bow out gracefully. I ain't never seen the nigga. You see, that's what maggots do. I want you to understand. Maggots only come around when poo-poo is around. When poo-poo is around, that's what maggots do. You don't see no maggots on no fresh food. You see maggots when... Now, here come the nasty stuff where nigga, I got eye emojis in the chat. Yeah, I see the emoji. Me and my niggas, we see it, yada, yada, yada. We downplay it, yada, yada, yada. We laughing at it, whatever, nigga. You know what I mean? So, if I'm not mistaken here, the gentleman takes exception to what Nick does. And just like a coward-ass nigga, instead of him addressing Nick on what he says, he comes directly to me. He goes live on his channel. It comes directly to me. I ain't heard from this nigga in 6 months. Don't care how the nigga was doing, because you already showed me how you feel. So he used Nick Tri-State as an entry to get at me. The nigga was too cowardly to pull up to when I retired. He was too cowardly to hit me on the back end. He was too cowardly, yo, you know what I mean? Hey, let me email you. Hey, dog, is there smoke? We got any problem? He was too cowardly to do. And a shout out to Donna B. Donna B was like, can we just be cordial? I believe, listen, here's my thing, dog. When you move like a snake, dog, you don't play with no snake. You got to cut that snake head off, metaphorically speaking. You can't play with no snake, dog. If his intentions were to truly be implicable about moving this kind of way, he would have came out discreetly and said, I got a problem with this, that, and the third. Just like I used to do before every live stream when I used to have a panel. Do we got a problem with Leo? Do we got a problem with this? Do we got a problem with that? Might be some girl, might be talking about some black women. We might be talking about blacks in general. Anybody got a problem with that? Oh, no, big cat, I ain't got a problem. As long as I keep getting the cash out. Okay? So just like a snake, nigga, the nigga went, instead of him bro, if I went, let's say Elaine, right? Okay, let's say Elaine has somebody on the channel I don't rock with, right? But me and Elaine don't hurt me for 6 months talking crap, right? Right? Now, Elaine ain't never say nothing public. Let's say whoever he brought on was slick dissing me. Now, mind you, I ain't heard Elaine say nothing, but the guy he had on slick dissing me. Instead of me going at the guy who slick dissing me, I go at Elaine. That's the coward shit, bro. He had Nick Tri-State. You got the proof. You got the footage. You could have did it right there. No, hell no. Because it was in your heart to disrespect me. This was your nigga was smelling. What they do like this? Ain't this what the new kid do? Ain't this what the new kid do? Ain't that what the new nigga was smelling himself? Nigga was smelling himself. Nigga had already, I was gone for 6 months. Nigga already had a nice little footing, getting himself into a groove. So the nigga say, you know what? Instead of me going at the nigga who disrespected me, I'm gonna go at Big Cat. This is my chance to pull that blade out. I've been wanting to pull this blade out anyway, metaphorically speaking. Metaphorically speaking. I've been wanting to pull this blade out, metaphorically speaking anyway. Nick Tri-State just gave me a way to do it. Nick Tri-State go live. I mean, not Nick Tri-State, what's name goes live. And then it, all hell breaks loose where the gentleman is start talking about the time I met up in Charlotte. The gentleman, I took him to a Panthers game, right? Took him to a Panthers game. I was working at the time. I literally had one day off. I had a bunch of junk in my car, right? I had like soda bottles. I don't know, man. I think I had like bags of trash in there, right? I had a little bag of trash in there. It wasn't a whole lot, like soda bottle, maybe some chips or something like that. If you guys don't know, I used to be an ATM worker. I used to travel from city to city fixing on automated teller machines, right? So I literally had one day off. I got off at 11 o'clock that night and literally drove to Charlotte that morning, right? So the gentleman goes live right after Nick Tri-State does what he does and starts talking about, oh, this fat nigga got trash in his car. Fat, nasty nigga got Slim Jim. So here we go. The nigga been holding this in, y'all. The nigga been holding that shit in, dog. He been wanting to get that off, dog. He been wanting to get it off. Yeah, let's go. He been wanting to stay right there, man. Shout out to my nigga G.O.B., man. He says, forgive my messy behavior. I think I know who Auntie is. Laugh out loud. We need to talk. First day when you are free. What's your IG? 95 the roar, Big Cat. I mean, God of Blackness. Yes, sir. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you for that super sticker. Yeah, hit me up on 95 the roar on Instagram. Yeah. So after Nick Tri-State gives him an opening, niggas start talking about you fat, messy nigga. Nigga car nasty. Nigga got food all over the place. I mean, just total exaggeratory behavior. Now you go, how do you antiquate somebody else talking shit about you on another platform to where you just totally disrespecting a nigga, calling him fat, nasty, trash, and fool, just being salacious with it. I'm like this. Whoa. My man chose to go from 0 to 100 like that. So what you see to today, like, so for a lot of people, y'all see my pettiness. Y'all see my pettiness. The reason why I'm so petty is because you made me. He brought me hate, so I had to serve him hate himself back. You open this can. You open Pandora's box. You open the nastiness in me. There was no need for it. You did this. This is how it all got started, y'all. The nigga, you nasty, this, your mama this, your kid this, your dad this, that, and the third. Nigga just unleash. And I'm like, whoa. So my response, or maybe I got it backward, but my response to that situation, or maybe I got it vice versa. Well, I go off to show my YouTube check, right? And I'm saying, like, you know, niggas asking for money on YouTube, stuff like that. I'm telling niggas on YouTube that there is no money in YouTube, right? There ain't no money in YouTube. So I showed my Google AdSense check, and I said, look, man, you got niggas on here begging for money. Niggas in here acting like they got money, yada, yada, yada. So I showed my Google AdSense check on my best month. I think it was like $2,500, $2,000, something like $2,500, something like that. The nigga then takes my Google AdSense check or account or whatever and shows it on his channel without my consent. Then he shows his, and I make $5,000 a month. I make $10,000, whatever the shit was. But the nigga was running 3 channels at the time. It was real crazy, man. It was real crazy. Shit went left. Nigga said I was a fat, nasty nigga. And then I had to expose him. I didn't want to do that because after he took the gloves off. I chose to keep the gloves on. Stay right there, y'all. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second here. Shout out to my man. He says he got mad and said he stopped effing with me. He had a problem for 6 months. Yes. Yes. Yeah, so 6 months leading up to this, he said, I've been stopped effing with that nigga. I've been stopped effing with that nigga. Which confirmed what we already knew. I mean, we already knew that. Like I said, the nigga had been snaking. Nigga had been snaking for 6 months. We knew that, though. But him coming out and saying we been stopped effing with that nigga confirmed what we already knew. My niggas already was on it. That's why when Nick Trostate came in and said what he said, I didn't stop it. It ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? I didn't publicly say anything about the gentleman. You know what I mean? I didn't stop Nick Trostate from talking about the gentleman. Hell, I even laughed with him. But instead of him checking Nick Trostate, he called himself checking me, which was a dumb thing to do. Okay? And then he confirmed 6 months I've been stopped effing with him. We're going to get to this. Listen, I'm drawing this off for a reason. I'm trying to show you what happened last night and what I need you guys to do and what's probably going to happen in the long term, okay? Now, after the nigga started talking about my family, my wife, my kids, my car being nasty, I didn't want to go there, but I had to do it. The gentleman, I posted receipts of me taking him to Atlanta Falcons game. I paid front row seat, section 138, 137, row 1. I treated him like the princess that he was. I had him sitting right next to the God. I had him sitting court right. That nigga, I was Jay-Z and that was my Beyonce. I treated that nigga like Beyonce. Had him catered to, got him a box of popcorn and nacho. Treated that nigga like Beyonce. Had him sit in court row seat next to the God. Even had the receipt, showed the receipt where nigga paid full price for the ticket. Yeah, afterwards, and now this was in response to what the gentleman said, bro. Afterwards, I even took him and his wife out for steaks. Nigga, I had 3 racks in my pocket, dog. I didn't care. And I would have never said this because, like I said, when I love somebody, no homo, when I love somebody, it's all done on the humble. It's all done on the strength. Love don't hold nothing over people's head. You know what I mean? But when a nigga talking about your car nasty, your kids ain't shit, your wife is this, your family this, I said, bet. That's when I start pulling out receipts. So I'm literally at the steak table. We went to Outback or Roadhouse. Or what is it called? Texas Roadhouse. I'm literally, get what you want, get what your wife want. I'm putting well-done steaks in niggas' mouths. To the tune of $200+, nigga. All love. It don't matter. I got 3 racks in my pocket. I don't care. Showing love to niggas, dog. So that's when I begin to expose niggas after niggas open their mouth and shit. Okay. Cool. Then on top of that, I think the gentleman showed some resentment to because Brian Burns' dad, the year before, Brian Burns' dad had passed a message to me, and Brian Burns' dad was saying, look, man, your protege over there kind of running his mouth. I need to talk to him. I told him, I said, yo, man, Brian Burns and them people, look, man, they want you to cool out on that mouth. This was a year before we went there. You can't tell him nothing. My nigga 5'9" with the heart of a 6'5" nigga. Salute to him. I ain't gonna listen to no nigga. F that nigga. I could get the whole family. All right, bet. So after I take this nigga to a football game in Atlanta, Brian Burns, daddy, uncle, brothers, cousin, all them niggas up there, they see us. You know me, I'm doing my content, you know what I mean? Yada, yada, yada. And they ain't got no problem with me. Yo, but let me holler at you, Big Cat. I talked to Stanley, salute to Stanley. Brian Burns, shout out to Papa Burn. All them niggas cool with me. I ain't got no problem with none of them niggas. They chopping it up, man. I appreciate the way you do your fair coverage. You speak the truth, man. Keep doing that thing. We support you, yada, yada, yada. They say, go get that nigga real quick for us. The nigga said I set him up by the Brian Burns family, dog. Nigga said I set him up by the Brian Burns family, which is another lie. Your mouth set you up, dog. Your mouth got you set up, dog. They called a nigga over there. I see the nigga like this. I see the nigga throwing the hands up. I'm like, what's that about? Nigga throwing hands up and stuff, bro. So I know it's already kind of hostile. I'm looking at niggas' faces reaction, but I can't really fully give it my attention because I'm taking pictures with other fans, talking to other fans. Shout out to Adam Thielen dad. I was chopping it up with Adam Thielen dad and a couple other niggas, bro. It was real cool atmosphere. Your mouth gets you in trouble, dog. Not me. Long story short, man, you know what I mean? It was Bryce Young's first game. I'm cooling, dog. I got a picture of Pastor Troy, Little John, on the way out the stadium. Even though we lost the game, I'm taking pictures with fans. I'm in another city taking pictures with fans. And he know this. You could never be you could never be this, dog. My fat, funky ass in a costume still better than you in everyday life, nigga. That's sad. You know that, dog. Niggas walked with a nigga. You know how that shit be. So as I got this little girl behind me, waiting for me to get done with my photo ops, you know what I mean? Which I can only imagine, watching somebody who's podcasting just like you podcasting, not getting that love, it could build resentment into you. If I was with a nigga who do the same thing I do, but ain't nobody checking for me, I probably would have a slight little bit of apprehension. I only can assume that the gentleman was a little, upset by that. Nonetheless, as we get to the stadium exit, I take a picture with two beautiful ladies outside of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Out of my left peripheral, I see Brian Burns' brother coming. The nigga got his phone down. The podcaster got his phone down. He looking at his phone. Now, in case you guys don't know, man, my home place, Landover, Maryland. Shout out to DC, man. PG rapping DMV, man. Capitol Heights, District Heights, Largo. You know what I mean? Shout out to all my people back at home. We keep your head on a swivel. I'm looking at my left side, dog. I see Brian Burns' brother coming. He's not coming to do no autograph. He's gonna steal him. I seen a nigga get his jaw broke that way. Now, mind you, I'm in a picture with two girls. I'm doing my thing, being the big cat, all that. I see Brian Burns' brother coming with dirty intentions. If it wasn't for me calling that nigga's name, I said, yo, podcaster. Podcaster looks up. If podcaster didn't get his name called, there's no doubt in my mind, 1,000%, Brian Burns' brother would have broke that nigga's jaw. Does that sound like a nigga who trying to set you up? Does that sound like a nigga who hates you? That nigga have followers all the way from down the tunnel, dog, to catch that nigga from running his mouth online. That nigga was gonna break that nigga jaw, bro. I seen a nigga shit get cracked like that. I seen a nigga get, it's not pretty. You hear a loud pop. I'll never forget that day. I seen a nigga get you hear a loud pop when that damn jaw, that mandible come loose. Does that sound like a nigga that's trying to set you up? So all that resentment, all that hatred, all that stuff stems from stuff like this. This is stuff you guys don't know about. Or for those who rock with me, you know a little bit about this. So the Nick Tri-State situation, my man almost getting his top pop situation, you know what I mean? The hatred about I've been stop effing with you for 6 months, your nasty car, you know what I mean? Nasty food. All of it, that's been in that nigga heart, dog. I don't met niggas, bruh. I don't been around niggas, bruh. I ain't got nothing but love for niggas. You know what I mean? Where does this come from? I'm trying to figure out, like I'm genuinely baffled. And listen, I dropped my link on my satire channel. And listen, to this day, that brother won't hit that link. So for anybody say a nigga scared of running or anything, the nigga won't hit the link. If you want to have a genuine, candid conversation, he will never hit the link. A lot of you guys talking about, can we end this? Can we end this? You know what I mean? His pride won't let him. His pride won't let him. I'm an open book. I tell you everything, dog. The nigga he won't hit the link. The nigga will rather walk around the Carolina Panthers facilities with guns, talking about he's wanting to kill people, or have people around him with guns. I'm gonna stop in Georgia and let off some fireworks. Because we all know that's easy to do. What's not easy to do is to sit down on a public platform and to have an open conversation about how you really felt and how you feel now. That's called maturity. That's called growth. So for those coming over here talking about we want you to piece it out, you need to go tell that nigga y'all need to find a middleman and y'all can sit there and talk it out. But I tell you what, man, there ain't no more being no friends. Ain't no more being, you already don't imply death threats. The gentleman has already leaked my address onto my other satire channel. He's put my address in there. You know what I mean? He has implied that he'll stop in Georgia when he was going to the Jacksonville Jaguars game to let off, quote unquote, some fireworks. Ain't nobody letting off no fireworks in August. And last night, man, it was just egregious. And I've already reached out to several law enforcements, and I do have proof of that. One of them did respond today. During last night, I had went live on my satire channel. I was making fun of Legacy Family, right? Legacy Family, yada, yada, yada. Just doing what I'm doing my troll stuff, as I have the rightful right to do, right? If you're at a public event, the last thing I'm worried about is what's going on the internet. I'm not worried about what's going on the internet. When I'm at a public event, I'm enjoying myself. I care less who or anybody says while I'm at a public. I'm enjoying myself. The gentleman chooses to go live at Mint Street with a bunch of friends or associates, and one person we do know his name that had the gun, so he will be getting what he's going to get. And I do have a police report number here. The gentleman shows a weapon. The gentleman is wearing a red Cincinnati Reds jersey. And the gentleman podcaster said, "Yo, show him your NFL gear." The gentleman unbuttons his red jersey and shows his quote unquote NFL gear. The gentleman podcaster then says, "We just want you to come outside. Why can't you come outside? We just want to talk. We just want to talk. We just want to talk." The gentleman is applying death threats. For what? And the funny thing about it is, niggas with guns actually think they're the last ones to make them, man. That's the funny thing about it. Niggas with friends with guns act like they're the last one to have friends with guns. That's the funny thing. That's not moving nobody. The reason why I'm not coming to no FanFest is because Bryce Young ain't it. And I seen that. And you know that. I've been saying this. I guess niggas flexing because they were able to attend a $5 charity event. It's a charity event. That's what it is. Nigga bragged about being outside at a charity event. Shout out to DTL. He said, "You got to take that seriously." You absolutely do have to take it seriously, brother. I have reached out to the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation, which is, I believe, your FBI department, Mecklenburg Police Department, the Carolina Panthers, not only the Carolina Panthers, also the NFL. And I also have a response already from one of those things there. So at the end of the day, man, I'm like, why? Why are you mad enough to point where you're willing to kill somebody? And why are other people getting involved who have nothing to do with this? You literally got your man set up. You literally cut the camera on and showed your man holding a firearm around the Carolina Panthers Stadium, which goes against the NFL guidelines. I am scared, guys. I'm scared. I'm scared for you guys. And I let the NFL and the Mecklenburg Police, which I do have, like I said, what's the name? I'm scared for you guys. This gentleman has a reckless, discontent, malcontent disposition. And if this gentleman were to go to the extremes of having a gun whipped out in public place, then you have to take that threat literally to the point to where you think if he's willing to show it or have people that's showing it, he's willing to discharge it. If he's willing to discharge it, then I mean there could be innocent bystanders hit. No Carolina Panthers fan or anybody in this community deserves that to go to a game in fear or knowing that there's a potential they could lose their life because somebody who is reckless is willing to do that. The sad part about it is this. My daddy always told me a person, the most dangerous person with a gun is a person who's scared. The last person you want with a gun is a person who's scared. My daddy also told me, don't you ever show your gun unless you tend to use it. That's why you never see me put my gun on anything. Because if you see it, I plan on using it. So I'm really like I'm really disappointed, and I'm going to say that, like I said, I'm looking to prosecute all individuals involved, and I won't stop until it happens. All of this because a content creator is unhappy with um, I don't know, outlook of who I am or what I say, or jealous. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know. The gentleman is too cowardly to speak to me one on one and publicly anyway. So he would rather do this tough. The gentleman's not tough. I spoke with the gentleman multiple times. I've been with the dude for over 3 years. I don't have private conversation with the dude. Nigga, I was down here in Ben Hill when I took the nigga through Ben Hill, my nigga. Y'all know what a Bluffs is? I took the nigga through Ben Hill, hot boxing in Ben Hill, and nigga in the Bluff, dog. Nigga asked me, did I have my gun? Nigga was scared to ride through the Bluffs, nigga. Shout out to Atlanta. Hot boxing in the Bluff, nigga. Nigga was scared. That nigga not like that, dog. That nigga not like that. I'm not like that. I'm not like that. But what I'm saying is a scary nigga with firearms or a scary nigga with other scary niggas around him, that's dangerous. That shit is dangerous. And like I said, man, the Panther community deserves so much, man. And I'm asking you guys that any provocation of violence or threats online, I'm asking you guys to clip it and report it to YouTube. And not only to YouTube, you can email me at panthersnews247@gmail.com. I have a folder. I literally have a folder of threats that this gentleman has made throughout the years. Okay. So actually seeing a gun really made it like the icing on the cake, right? So I literally have a folder full of stuff. This is uncalled for, man. People just want to talk football, man. And the Panthers need to be made aware of this, dog. You know what I mean? They're trying to get a brand new stadium built. Not only they're trying to get a brand new, upgraded stadium. Not only they're trying to upgrade their stadium, but they're also trying to get a Super Bowl. They're also trying to get an NFL draft in Charlotte. The last thing they need is miscreants walking around here with YouTube beefs, holding guns, willing to kill on sight or to cause intimate harm to anybody. That is corny, it's lame, it's goofy. You know what I mean? And I think it's irresponsible and reckless. And it needs to be held accountable. And I'm going to be the whistleblower for that. And I'm asking you guys, if you truly want this community to be strictly about football, then you guys need to do the same. If you see a gentleman online provocating with weapons or killing somebody, you guys need to make sure you hold that gentleman accountable. Because last time I checked, bullets don't have any names. Bullets don't have any names. So if a gentleman is just as reckless as he is, or say he is, or we believe he is, then who's to know that, you know, your little sister, your mother, or whoever may be walking down the street, you know what I mean, during a game. Because I'm not, hey, listen, hey, you ain't stopping nothing from coming over nowhere. When I choose to get damn and ready, well, I'll be up there. So don't think niggas stopping anything. But what I'm saying to you guys is, you know, you want to make sure your community is safe. Take possession of that. You know what I mean? Take possession of your community. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate, man. And again, I apologize on behalf of the podcasters out there. I'll be to do the responsible thing here and apologize on behalf of the content creators, because this don't make no sense at this point. This has literally been going on for like almost 2 years now. And now it's to the point to where you got people pulling out guns at public events. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Keep that shit in the ghetto. Okay? Keep that shit in the ghetto with your ghetto friends and family. Keep that over there, dog. Don't bring that stuff to the community, bro. Don't bring that stuff to the stadium, bro. You know what I mean? Don't do that, bro. And like I said, bro, like, it's a warning for those who are on the sideline. Stay on the sideline, bro. This gentleman's going to drag you down a hole that you don't want to go to, whether it be a 6 feet deep hole or whether it be a 20 years to life hole. Again, for those who have nothing to do with this, I ain't got no problem with you. You shouldn't have no problem with me. I don't know you guys. This gentleman's going to drag you down a 6 feet deep hole or it's going to drag you into a 20 years to life hole. Whatever one comes first. Okay? So respectfully, you know what I mean? If you want to sideline my nigga and you rock with a nigga, stay there. When a nigga get off that sideline and when a nigga get off his sideline and start want to show out for niggas, if you ask me, it's a little suspect that a nigga want to show off and kill for a nigga that wouldn't do the same for him. Or a nigga want, you know, take care of your family if you want to do it for him. Because the inevitable is going to happen. There will be an inevitable. There will be an inevitable run-in. And I want you guys to be able to come back to this video and say, Big Katt told you there will be an inevitable run-in. At some point, there will be a run-in. And for me, there's no talking, brother. It's only self-defense. There's nothing else to talk about. You know what I mean? You had all this time to reach out and be able to communicate your displeasure or whatever, articulate yourself in a manner in which, you know, you can, you know, convey your emotions and thoughts. You chose not to do that. Instead of you hitting a nigga up or hitting a link or emailing a nigga or whatever, you chose to go and provocate for violence and anger. So you got it up there. It's stuck. It's up. It's stuck. So once there's an inevitable run-in, there's no talking. Ain't too much to say, brother. It's only self-defense. And that's unfortunate, man. You know what I mean? That's unfortunate, man. But like I said, if you guys on the sideline stayed on it, please, look, I'm begging you. What's about to come down? I don't know if you guys heard about the YSL RICO Act, right? How people who mob mentality, gang mentality, or whatever you want to call it, and hide it behind other names, they get hit with the blammer. They get hit with all kinds of sentences. Stay on the sideline. Be a good YouTuber. Be a good Patreon. Hit the like button, share, subscribe. Just stay there, brother. Niggas start talking about anything outside of football, say, yeah, I don't want no part of that. Some people call it being scared. Some people call it maturity. I call it maturity. I call it maturity, dog. Stay your ass on the sideline. We had another gentleman that was rocking with him, and again, he's just misinformed, man. There's a lot of people who are misinformed about the situation, and instead of just keeping their mouth shut and just, you know, or reaching out on the humble, speaking on the back end, you would think a nigga would be like, hey, let me find out the detail from both ends, right? You had another gentleman who jumped off the porch for the gentleman, started speaking on my name, and then his situation got dealt with the way it got dealt with. And he had nothing to do with it. The gentleman had nothing to do with it. That situation got dealt with the way it got dealt with, and that turned into a whole fiasco. There was another supporter of his speaking on my name. That situation got dealt with the way it got dealt with. I don't want to go into details. If you guys follow, y'all know what happened. So my point is this, man. Please, and I'm really just talking to you guys here, okay? I don't care what you watch or who you watch. As long as you're respectful, do that. My name get mentioned up, skip right over it like it don't exist. Niggas start bringing up violence and stuff, I'm out. Niggas start talking about killing and murdering and stuff like that. Niggas start ganging up. Because what you're making it easy for a RICO case for a nigga. Because I got patterns. I got footages of patterns from date, timestamp from this month, that month, to this year, from that year. Timestamp. This is a habitual thing. Habitual violence or intimate threat. Habitual provocation of violence. And now we have a gun being shown online. So that was beautiful. It was like a layup, my nigga. So, you know what I mean? This is not a one-off. This is not a mulligan. You know what I mean? This is a habitual pattern that now we got a gun involved. And that's where maturity comes in, man. You know what I mean? A nigga doing a satire channel about the Legacy family should not trigger you to the point to where I need to pull a gun out. You know what I mean? Shout out to my man GTA 6. He said, they tripping. He said, in my mind, I know. Yeah, listen, man, look, bro. I'm not no gangbanger. Look at me. I ain't no gangbanger. I ain't no murderer. I'm not a tough guy. I'm just a Panthers fan and a content creator. I'm a dad. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm a brother. And I'm a son. And a God-fearing man. That's all I am. I ain't no killer. You know what I mean? And I will, have the right to defend myself. And anybody with me will have the right to defend themselves. You know what I mean? And we're not going to do no goofy stuff like put our guns online. We're not going to put our guns online. And if you see those guns, it's too late, because that's not the move. Resorting to violence and stuff is not the move, and that's the reason why I'm making a pressing matter for you guys to get involved. And when it comes to getting involved, I don't mean like going back and forth. I don't want nobody to troll nobody or nothing like that. What I'm saying is, when you hear a person talking about murder and killing some people, take it seriously. In lieu of what happened in Las Vegas, right? You had the Las Vegas, the two podcasters that got involved, somebody died in there. Okay. So, and if you truly just say, look, I care about this content creator, I care about you, Big Katt. If you truly care about myself, you care about that content creator, then the best thing to do is to hold them accountable, right? Hold them accountable when they're talking egregiously, or when they're talking about dangerous stuff like that. I could screenshot it, screen record it, timestamp it, report it. There's a report button. You can write up a timestamp, report it. To me, this thing has already gone on long enough. And like I said, it's inevitable, bro. Ain't nobody running me from the Panthers Stadium. So inevitably, when you see you, it's going to be some kind of confrontation. At this point, it's only a matter of what kind of confrontation. But I tell you now, I will not be the aggressor. I will defend myself with extreme prejudices, but I will not be the aggressor. That is my constitutional law, my constitutional right to defend myself against all evildoers and tyranny with extreme prejudices. But I will not be the aggressor. So, I mean, it's on you at this point, man. It's on you guys, man. But what I will say is this: before I open up before I read you guys' chat, I think you guys need to report that YouTube. When you see stuff like that. And also, just like I said, if you want to email me, if you don't want, there's some couple people who have reached out to me on the back end with some support, and I thank you for that. I know a lot of you guys don't want to be mentioned, and that's how you go about it, right? I know a lot of you guys don't want to be put in the middle, and that's how you should go. You move quietly on the back end, you email me, you ain't got to be put in this, right? But, there's a lot of great content. Shout out to PNP, shout out to Panther Podcast, Panther Prime Podcast, Duncan on Demand. There's a lot of great content creators out here, a lot of new up-and-coming content creators. Support those content creators. Not this drama-filled crap right here, man. The fact that we're talking about this drama-filled, beefed-out crap. Support those guys. Those guys deserve all the flowers in the world, man. Those guys are One Carolina. Support all of those and much more. Anybody I miss that does their thing, salute to you. But this is ridiculous, and as the older I get, I'm kind of tired of it. You know what I mean? I'm kind of tired of this shit, man. Be honest with you, man. And when I mean, when I'm tired of the drama. That's why I came back. I came back for football. I came back for you guys. A lot of you guys missed my football takes, and salute to you guys. We're doing quite well. We're growing the channel. I love that. You guys have showed your love. We're doing our own thing. And then you have situations like this. And I'm just concerned for the community, man. You know what I mean? You got a gentleman who's leading almost like a cult-like. It's almost like a cult-like gang. You know what I mean? It's almost like a gang, a cult-like gang. There's no intentions of being positive, spreading love. You know what I mean? Imagine wanting to kill somebody because of a YouTuber, of a YouTube thing. Imagine wanting to kill somebody you don't know. That's a dangerous person mentally. Psychologically, that's a dangerous person. Imagine wanting to kill a nigga for some other nigga that don't give a damn about you. Stay on the sideline, people. Stay on the sideline. Let's shout out to Black Cat Podcast. Yes, sir. Kendall and them. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to Worm. Yeah, shout out to Black Cat Podcast as well, brother. Yeah. So that's my conjecture, man. I want to take some questions here just for a little bit. I give you 10 more minutes here. But in closing here, man, FanFest ended. FanFest got off to a great start. I love the energies in the Carolina right now. Seem like those who do believe were hyped up about it. I'm glad they support it. It's unfortunate that we have this associated with our community. It's unfortunate. And maybe I'm partly to blame because I have a partial, I guess you can call me Baxter Stockman. I kind of made this Ninja Turtle. Call me Baxter Stockman. I kind of poured the ooze into this gentleman that became the man who he is, I guess. So, and I apologize again on behalf of all content creators. And, like I said, if you see something, you tell something. If you hear something, you tell something. Okay? Because it's all fun and games when niggas online hyping niggas up, whether you hyping me up or whether you over there hyping him up, until something happens, right? Until something happens. Something happened to me, you niggas gonna, you're gonna feel some kind of way. Something happens to him, you niggas gonna feel some kind of way. You're gonna look back and you're gonna say, I wish we could have talked. I wish this gentleman would have hit the link. I wish this, it really wasn't that serious. I see this shit all the times. All the times. So, if you truly care about the community, if you truly care, you see something, you tell something. Okay? It ain't about being no rat. We're not no rat. In order for you to be a rat, you have to be involved in gang life. I'm not a gang member. I'm not a gang member. You're not a rat. I'm not a rat unless you're a gang member. If you live by the street code, you're a gang member. You rat. You can't tell if you live by. I don't live by the street code, dog. Me telling on a nigga is not a ratting. I'm not a street nigga. You can't be a rat if you're not. I don't abide by that shit. I'm an upstanding American citizen who has the right to protect this community. Okay, let's get in the comment section. Let's take a few comments here. Take a little comments here. Shout out to JP, brother. He said, I missed the football content from you, Big Cat. For a little while, the drama was a little bit too much, but I'm excited to see your content in the future. And thank you for that, JP, brother. Hey, listen, thank you, JP. Again, I want to apologize on an utmost scale to all my listeners who left because of the drama. I was indulged into the drama. I was clouded. My mind was clouded. I got off track. And I don't blame you. I don't blame anybody who left because of the drama. And said, Big Cat, it was too much. I respect that so much. So, yeah, man, thank you guys, brother. And I look forward to bringing you guys great content. We got the Hall of Fame game next week. And I can't wait to give you guys a taste of that, man. Right? So, man, yeah, it's glad to see you back. And I'm glad that you gave me another chance, man. So, yeah, man. I'm definitely can't wait, brother. I definitely can't wait to come back and give you what you need, right? You guys deserve that. I love you guys, man. For those who rock with me, I'm a hard lover, dog. I ain't no gangbanger. I ain't no killer. I just want to do football. And I want to rock with those who rock with me, right? All this beef and drama, there's nothing in it. You know what I mean? If I got paid for the beef and the drama, then maybe a nigga probably would entertain it a little more. I'm over it. But don't get it twisted. A nigga ain't no punk or no coward either. And I will defend myself. Shout out to JP. Let's get some more questions in here. Yeah, shout out to Worm. He said, you're a football content creator. Don't feed into the BS, Big Cat. We need you back, big dog. Thank you, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. That's why I'm here today, man. Just kind of shining light on that. And you're right. I'm so much bigger than this, metaphorically speaking and physically speaking. And I thank you, brother. And I'm glad to be back, man. My mind needs to be occupied by positivity and doing stuff that I love. I love what I do and I'm good at what I do. You know what I mean? So that's the reason why I'm back. And I love you guys for loving me, man. Right? Thank you guys. And that's the goal over here. This will be my last and my only time speaking about this on this channel. On this channel, this will be the last time I'm speaking about this. I just felt like it was necessary to let you guys know if you're in the Charlotte area, you're going to games, be careful. There are terroristic gang member content creators who are reckless in their approach when it comes to their aggression. Let's get some more questions, please. Let me scroll back up. Give me a second. Let me scroll up here. Shout out to Third Coast. He said, you definitely kept it alive longer than it should. But you've been learned. Facts. Shout out to Third Coast. Yeah, I give it to me. Yeah. Third, the petty side of me, I'm human too, brother. I'm petty. So when I see people, the maturity side says just leave it alone. But the petty side of me is like, give it the attention it deserves. Mm-hmm. Give me 1 second. Shout out to Trucking Gaming. He said, I'm wishing y'all can end the drama and continue the fire football content y'all brought every night together and separately. Shout out to Trucking Gaming, brother. I added you as a moderator. You did good work on the other channel, brother. Listen, brother, I'm with that. At this point, when it comes to me and that content creator, the only thing I'm willing to do is to online on my channel publicly have a conversation with them. You know what I mean? But I don't ever think we could mend the relationship to the point to where we'll get back together, at least on my end. I have no intentions to mend anything far as getting back together. But what I will do is open up a conversation and allow for him to freely speak, so long as I do it as well. If he's willing to do that, when I hit the link on my other channel, he can call in, he can talk, and we can try to sort through our differences and agree to disagree. Nobody's hating on this channel content. He has the right to do what he want to do. If the nigga want to sell $100 packages and all this other stuff, he has the right to do that. But what you don't have the right to do is go around threatening people, pulling guns out on people. I keep telling people guns go both ways. So you don't want to do that. You know what I mean? And, believe it or not, man, while people, they only feel like they got people that ride for them, I had the people. If you only knew, bro, like what I know, you probably move a little more cautiously, man. But yeah, that's all I'll do, bro. All I'll ever do is I can sit down and have a conversation with him publicly, and work through our differences and keep it moving. We'll never be friends or never working together. But that takes a sign of maturity, brother. I don't know if the dude's mature enough to do that. You know what I mean? Which is sad because I'm 38, the gentleman's 40 plus. You think there'll be a level of maturity enough to have a conversation. Maybe we get one of your guys in there. I get one of my guys in the background. And maybe we all sit up there, right? You get one of your best niggas. I get one of my best niggas. We sit up there, have a conversation. You know what I mean? If that's how you feel. But that takes maturity. But, it is what it is. Shout out to Big Drose. He said, get your credentials, Big Cat. I hear you, brother. Shout out to Charles Xavier. He said, I hate things are the way they are between both of you. I understand, Big Cat. I understand, hopefully, by God's grace, both of you can have a face-to-face conversation and get this over with. Same, brother. Yeah, brother. It's unfortunate. Because, look, the bottom line is this. Charles, shout out to you for Charles here. The bottom line is, at one point in time, I actually rocked with this gentleman, okay? You know what I mean? That's why I never understood why people hate on their baby mama, but they actually had a baby with. So that means at one point in time, you saw value in that woman, right? So back to what I'm saying here, at one point in time, I saw value in this gentleman. So out of respect for that time, you would say, at least let me get a conversation to where we can talk about our agreeances and our disagreeances and then get the fuck on. But, that takes a level of humility, man. You know what I mean? I'm down for it. But the gentleman's not going to do it because he wants to shoot, man, I kill you. Gang, nigga, gang. What's that, GB? Nigga want to do all that, bro. You know what I mean? Goofy stuff. Thank you, brother. Let's get some more questions in here. I'll give you guys a few more minutes. Shout out to Cyclops said, was he flexing money? No. Trey says, I can't wait to see your future content. I'm a Texans fan. Salute to Trey. Yes, sir, brother. I can't wait to give it to you guys. We got joint practices with you. My nigga Third Coast, my nigga Junkie. I'm telling them guys to come up here doing a joint practice. Yeah, Third Coast and Junkie will be up here doing joint practices. It's going to be so much fun over here, brother. I'm going to give you what I got, baby. You know what I mean? Without the bull stuff. Right? What else we got here? Anthony Woodward said, Big Cat, how you feel about this secondary? No comment. We'll save that. We'll save that. Any more questions? Let me see what else we got up here. Dark Plake said, big preseason Hall of Fame game, August 6th. Absolutely, brother. Yep. Yes. Yeah, I will be covering that. Make sure you're back here August 6th. You know what I mean? Yep. Shout out to Worm. He says, I just want to talk football, not the other goofy stuff. I agree. The goofy stuff is really not called for, bro. Shout out to Junkie. Bringing guns, enticing violence, and place where children just shows exactly how weak you are. Yeah, it's definitely weak to bring guns, enticing violence around a public area, around children and stuff. That's just not cool. Loud Pack says, sorry you're going through this, Big Cat. I always like hearing your takes on the Panthers. Thank you, man. Man, it's unfortunate, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, at one point in time, I saw value in this gentleman. And, you know, to this day, I don't know what he got mad about. You know what I mean? Nick Trostate was kind of like the door to talk about how I was a fat, nasty, trash motherfucker. But I never got to the core. He said, I've been stopped messing with you. So on his end, I don't know. On my end, you're just seeing me responding, right? Somebody punch you in your mouth, you're going to see me respond. So everything I've been doing has been a response. It's been a response. Y'all might want to go ask him, why did y'all stop messing with him? Why'd you stop messing with him? And that's the kind of thing, you know, I mean, as a man, you know, how do you hate somebody without giving them a chance to answer for what you hate them about? How do you hate somebody, but you don't give them a chance to answer what you hate for them about? That's like going to a restaurant and say, I hate your burger, I hate your burger, I hate your burger. But you never take it in there and say, hey, this is what I don't like about it. You just say, I hate, you know what I mean? So if you have a grievance with somebody, you go to your brother. It talks about that in the Bible. But to this day, I don't know why that nigga hate me. You see the response, like everything, you see him respond to what I be responding. But if you ask me to this day, why does he hate you? I don't know. That Nick Trostate was literally an open door. But he been hated me before then. That's a question you got to ask him. Or maybe we can sit down and talk about it. Shout out to, let me see. Oh, give me 1 second here. 44 Trey said, how did y'all even meet? You got to understand, Trey, I was doing podcasting for a long time here, almost 8+ years. So I was on Facebook. I got on YouTube. During COVID-19, everything took off and everybody started watching me. And he was a fan. Believe it or not, he started off as a fan. And that's not being salacious, I'm being honest. To start the channel off, the nigga was a fan. And he ended up calling in one night. He had a nice little voice on him. And he had a funny little disposition. So what I did was I gave him his name. The name that y'all call him by, I gave him that. So think about that. For somebody who hates somebody so much, why are you keeping the name that he gave you? That nigga got a different street name. I know his street name. If somebody made me, you know what I mean? Don't you think I would change that name in a heartbeat? I would go back to my street name. But, yeah, so anyway, he was a fan in the audience. He called in. Everybody was loving his voice, loving his takes. So I gave him a nickname. And unfortunately, I took the bait, man. I let him hop up on my podcast and become a co-host. Nigga, we would get money together. The money that y'all, man, I don't even want to get into the financial, but it was good money. It was COVID year, nigga. It was COVID season. Nigga had green in his eye, bro. I don't know. Okay. Shout out to Big Grit. He said, did you get rid of your Bryce Young memorabilia? I ain't never had no Bryce Young memorabilia, brother. I got a Bryce Young jersey. I still got that. I don't wear it much, but yeah. Yeah, I don't have any Bryce Young. I never had any Bryce memorabilia. Stay right there. Thank y'all for these super stickers, man. Shout out to God of Black. He said, if I had consistent internet Wi-Fi, ID team back up with you like the old days. I drive trucks, but I got equipment. Internet is spotty. Shout out to God of Blackness. Yeah, man, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, dog, we just, man, listen, brother, I remember you, man, good brother, man. We had good times on here. And God of Blackness, no, man. But listen, he know, man. Back in the day, we was jumping, dog. I don't know where the hate came from the gentleman. I don't know, man. I swear to God, on my mom, I don't know what made this nigga hate me. I got a suspicion. Like, I got a suspicion, like, when Leo would talk that black stuff, because I heard little stuff like, man, I don't like nigga talking bad about black people. So I think Leo talking bad about black people. I think black women and stuff like that. And I think that might have got on his nerve, but I can't confirm or deny it. The nigga ain't never told me. Literally, Nick Trostate came out his mouth, dissed him, and he, instead of him addressing Nick like a girl, he came at me. And then it went off. I don't know what the nigga problem was or is. I don't know. And as a man, you know what I mean? Nigga too afraid to address me, I guess. Look, I'm a big nigga, dog, but I ain't gonna do nothing. I ain't gonna do nothing. I will carry guns too if you see me. But I ain't gonna do nothing. I ain't gonna do nothing. Just hit the link, my nigga. Sure. I don't know what the nigga problem. I swear to Lord Jesus. I swear to Lord Jesus, bro. I don't know what that nigga problem is with me. I swear to Lord Jesus. Yeah. Shout out to Rockhead. What do you say? Give me 1 second here. What happened to Leo? Leo on the Discord. My nigga Leo on the Discord. He cool. Leo been laid back, man. He's a good brother. Leo still my brother, man. He in the Discord. We got a personal Discord. And I guess that was one of the things too, man. So I know one of the things he's gonna say is in the Discord we have been making funny pictures about him, right? So y'all know we be doing AI generated memes and stuff. But that was already when a nigga was dissing. That was in the heat of the battle. You can't kill my dog, then I kill your cat, metaphorically speaking, and then get mad about it. So the nigga gonna try to bring up, well, the niggas was in the Discord talking about me. Nigga, you was already killing my dog. So I had to kill your cat. So you can negate all that. That's not the core of the reason. That's just, bro, that's like, you know, in war, if a nigga hit you with a warhead, you hit him with something else. Oh, the nigga shot it. I mean, you're in the middle of battle then. So they ain't had nothing to do with no Discord picture. You know what I mean? You were already in the thick of it then. Listen, y'all might listen, bro. If you rock with the nigga, y'all hold that nigga feet to the fire. Why did you stop rocking with the big cat? If he brings up anything that happened after, they'll let you know he lying. Ask that nigga what before the Nick Trostate made you mad. Ask him before Nick Trostate came on here and dissed you, what made you mad? Or what made... That's the real answer. If he say anything that happened after Nick Trostate, or the nigga made a meme about me, nope. Nigga was talking about me, nope. No, that was in the middle of it. I don't know, bro. I swear, oh my Lord, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Shit, all you see me doing is swinging at a nigga. Well, got them big fish. You see them big fish right there? God damn, that'll cave a nigga face in. That'll make a legacy punch. Hey, that'll make a legacy punt right there, boy. Y'all think that'll make a legacy punt? Cave a nigga jit it. All right, shout out to Third Code. He said, hey, Bonds took care of that cake with that glad wrap. My nigga Third Code. Rockhead said, but he assumed you were in it on that before. He assumed you were in on it before that. You were not. Yeah. That just lets you know, man, a lot of niggas felt some kind of way. He had a mole in our Discord too. He had a mole in our Discord that was going back reporting to him. Yeah, he was going, but at that point we already knew the nigga was slick dissing. I'm not gonna feel sorry for a nigga who already was dissing me. So everything that mole showed you, we already knew at that point in time you was dissing, dog. We knew you were dissing. Shout out to Big Grit. It's like Drake getting mad at Future for putting Kendrick on his album. Facts. Yes. Yeah. Drake getting mad at Kendrick for putting Future on the facts. Yes. That's right. That's right, brother. Any more questions here? Good show today, and I apologize once more. This will be my last, I swear to God to you, bro, on this channel right here, this will be my last time talking about it. I'm not doing this anymore on this channel. So any questions, go ahead and get them over with real quick, man. I'm enjoying you guys, man. Hit the like button. Make sure you share. Use your hype up points for this video. I'm not deleting this video. This video will stay up, by the way. Anybody use any clips or any content on here, I will flag them. Okay? So if anybody uses any of my video responses or anything, I will flag you unless you come to me. You come to me and ask for permission, I might let you use a clip or something on here. But let me tell you something. This Panther community is too small, right? You know, although we have a lot of different smaller content creators, as a whole, this content creator sector is small. You got big communities out there. You got Pittsburgh Steelers, Dallas Cowboys, Niners fans, and it's too small to carry this shit on, y'all, right? And you got some fantastic content creators, big and small. I shouted out some of the big name content creators, but there's some small content. Y'all give them love, please. There's some people that can do it better than I can, and I'm okay with that. And there's some people who can't do what I do, and they should be okay with that too. But look, the pulling out guns around a community stadium, I mean, that's not cool, bro. Hey, that lets me know you can't fight, right? That lets me know you can't fight if you got to pull a gun out. If you got to jump a nigga, you can't fight. If you're threatening violence, you can't fight. Okay, that's what that lets me know. But ultimately, either way, if you can fight or not fight, you know, that's not the move, bro. You shouldn't be doing that. You know what I mean? The loud niggas, the boisterous niggas are the first niggas to go. I watched a 6'5" nigga get beat up by a little Chinese man. It was bad. You know what I mean? This is unfortunate, man. Stay right there, man. I want to wrap it up, but I'm going to take a couple more questions here. Shout out to Villain Trucker. What's up, Villain Trucker? I remember the first time I found Panther content on YouTube back in 2018. It was Big Katt channel, of course. Leo was there with inflammatory takes. Laugh out loud. But when I went AWOL after that, the cam disrespect. Facts. And that's okay. And that's all right, brother. And I respect that. Yeah. And you know, there were times where, you know what I mean, Leo got a little, you know, I even, look, me and Leo cool. Leo's still my friend. Leo's in my Discord. And Leo said in the past, he said, man, there were times I got carried away with that. I don't hold that against us. I don't hold that against them. There were times where, you know, yeah, things got wild. And I own that. I own that. As the owner of the channel, if I look back at some of the stuff I did and said, I definitely take accountability for some of the mistakes. The channel should have been cut off after about 2 hours. I should have gave you an hour of my football takes. I should have gave you an hour of response from the audience. And that's it. But, you know, allowing for some of the nigger stuff and some of the defamatory, inflammatory stuff, it got carried away. And I apologize for that. But I promise you on this channel, you ain't gonna have to worry about that. Yeah, we don't promote violence and killing and all that stuff over here. And there won't be a bunch of nigger talk and all that stuff. We're not doing that. I want to grow this channel, you know, as big as it needs to be, or the possibility of it to be, you know what I mean? And that's strictly by being authentic, still being me. I'm still gonna be me. And a lot of people, you guys don't understand, like, I say stuff and you guys get offended, right? Like Bryce Young is not it. If I say Bryce Young not it, or if I say Xavier Legette is not good, a lot of you guys get offended and take it personally. Nigga, I hate you, nigga. All you do is hate on the team, nigga. No, brother, that's my opinion. And you take it personal, and then you go to another person's channel, man. F that fat F. That fat F, all he do is hate on Bryce. That's my conjecture, bro. That's like me saying I don't like tomatoes. You gonna beat me up because I don't like tomatoes? Nigga, tomatoes are delicious. How could you not like tomatoes, nigga? You know what I mean? So that's what a lot of you guys got mad about. And that's okay, man. You know what I mean? You know, sometimes, you know, it's not always the most savior's take, but it's my conjecture to have, brother. But yeah, like I said, there was a lot of extra stuff that I definitely agree with you about. A lot of extra stuff that just was too much. Yeah. Shout out to Third Coast. He said, and I take responsibility for what I know I said, which was my own experience. Absolutely. Yeah. Third Coast said the weakest one in the room is the loudest, usually. How it go. Shout out to Villain Trucker. He said, I was looking for Big Cat and found Buddy Lee channel. It was cool for a minute, but I couldn't rock with an adult who carries on like, no. Nah. Shout out to shout out to you, Villain. Come on, man. We ain't gonna do that. It's all love over here. You know what I mean? But look, man, you got another channel. Yeah, it's a satire channel, Trey. Shout out to 44 Trey. It's a satire channel. It's called 10 Toes Down Network. It's called 10 Toes Down Network. It's not a football channel. It used to be. It used to be Panthers Uncensored. I just literally turned it into a satire channel. A channel where you can come, act stupid, cuss, act silly. It's like a channel I don't care about. You know what I mean? Yeah. Shout out to GTA 6. He said, your content has always been amazing. Thank you, brother. Shout out to Winky. He said, read all my comment. I got you, brother. My nigga Third says, I take responsibility for what I know I said, which is my own experience. I played into it for a little while because he never addressed me when he spoke to my wife. It was up after that. And shout out to Third Code, man. And listen, brother, thank you, man. You've been a good G, man. He's a Texans fan, man. And you, Junkie, Trey, all you guys been around, man. And I appreciate you guys rocking with me. And I'm sorry that the gentleman took that standpoint with your wife. And that's a lot of people. And let me say this, and let me say this here. A lot of people don't understand that the people that I associate with, some of them, have individual issues with him, right? So some of you guys feel like, well, that nigga Third Coast is ganging up on him, or Elaine is ganging up on him, or who else has gang? Nobody's ganging up on him. The niggas I associate with have individual problems with him. I'm not a gang. I'm not promoting this. You know what I mean? It just so happens that we all got the same enemy. I mean, the same person that You literally got a handful of people who have different issues with them that rock together. That's it. Nobody's ganging up. Nobody's trying to promote it. You know what I mean? You got 5, 6, 7 plus niggas that you don't pissed off. You know what I mean? And got a problem with you. You know what I mean? So let's not do this thing where it's like, well, Big Cat and them ganging up on him. No, nobody ganging up on him. It's unfortunate that you pissed off a lot of niggas. You know what I mean? So yeah, shout out to that. And I'm sorry that he addressed your wife that way. And listen, third, it's unfortunate because that gentleman has been doing that for a while. He's talked about my wife, other people's wives, people's kids. And I'm with you, brother. I take my responsibility. I return fire to people's kids and wives. When I say metaphorically speaking, return the fire. Metaphorically speaking, I shoot that back. Talk about my kid, talk about my wife, I return it. So, but I'm always on defense. Nevertheless, it's still wrong. And I apologize for that. But the gentleman needs to be held accountable, and he will be held accountable for the conduct that he behaves, the way he behaves. Including, like I said, a multiple police report I have, including video attachments. We got names now. We actually got a name of the person with the gun. And yeah, he's been looked into, okay? Really, y'all, I just want you guys to kind of, if you really want this stuff to end, you need to tell him to come to the table. Shout out to God of Blackness. He said, tell me this. Is it the same dude I used to curse out on the stream every other episode? No, not him. No. If you're talking about the heavyset dude, no. Yeah, if you're talking about the heavyset dude, it's not him. No. There was another dude. But really, man, if you guys want this to end, you guys need to have 2 questions at the top of your head. You need to have that gentleman come over to 10 Toes Down Network later on tonight. I'm going to go live later on tonight. I'm going to have the link out there like I always do. I ain't going to have no trolls up there. You bring one of your best hitters, I bring one of my best hitters. So that way you ain't got to feel naked out this motherfucker. and we can have a conversation. You tell him to pull up on me about 10 o'clock tonight on 10 Toes Down Network. You hit that link. I'm going to let you speak. You know what I mean? I'm going to let you get it off, say what you got a problem with. Because I still to this day don't know what you got a problem with. And then you're going to let me speak. And then we're going to either agree or disagree. And then we're going to get on about the business and we're going to dead it. If that's what you want to do. Now, if you don't want to do that, then we're just going to keep playing the stupid shit. Which I'm okay with that because I have a little mental issue. You know what I mean? I ain't really rap too tight. And for some reason, I find this very engaging. You know what I mean? I prefer to just do, let's get it over with, say what you need to say, nobody punk nobody, and get it over with. But you gotta be mature for that, okay? I don't know if niggas are ready for that. Damn, it's been a long hour show. Shout out to Rocket. He said, I tried to get on the link for the channel, but it's gone. Trucking Gamer said I would, but I don't want to get blocked. Get Big Cat to send you the Discord link. Who need the Discord link? Trucking, email me, brother. PanthersNews247@gmail.com. Yeah, and I'll shoot you the Discord link. Okay. Anthony Woodward said, pull out the movie scene from Tubi. Any more questions? Good show today, man. Unfortunate show. I wish it was strictly about football, man, but unfortunately, we have some people in this community who they're not going to learn. It's unfortunate, man. I wish this community could be a little more safer, dog, and a little more friendlier. Y'all support y'all content creators. Y'all support y'all content creators, man. Got some good content creators out here. Any more questions? Let's get some questions in here. And just to kind of dispel a little bit more, just to kind of dispel the narrative, like I said, I don't hate on nobody, bro. All the antics you see over at 10 Toes Down, that's strictly just me responding, right? Even when he don't mention my name, the stuff that he has said has been so egregious that I take exception to. Like last night, I guess the dude was at the Panther Stadium. I went live and did the Legacy family, and all, Legacy. But that's my satire. I don't mean any harm. I'm gonna make fun of it. I'm gonna do it. It's a satire channel. Satire doesn't mean that it's real. I guess you know what I mean. So you know what I mean. But I have no jealous bone in my body. What's for me is for me. You know what I mean? When it comes to this content shit, I don't be in places that nigga never have been. I don't make money in this content shit he never had, man. I don't sat down behind scenes and met with board execs, and I don't do commercials, and I don't have opportunities to do pilot episodes. I don't met with different players. There's certain players that reach out to me, family members that reach out to me. The Nick Gordon situation. Nick Gordon old lady reached out to me when they got the diagnosis of the MRI. I have no reason to be jealous of anybody. Shaq Thompson people behind the scene, bro. DJ Moore, Mama Cookie, man, all the people, bro. There's no reason to be jealous of anybody. So let's knock that shit off, bro. You know what I mean? What's crazy for a person to say that they're jealous of you, bro, when you don't been to the Saints game with me, you don't been to the Falcons game with me, you seen niggas come up to a nigga, shoot photos. Can I get a video? I remember you off TikTok. Can my kid get a picture? Can my wife take a picture with you? Y'all know this. And all you do is slick this. Fat ass nigga in that costume. You mad at the costume? Or you mad at the attention the costume brings? Why nobody notice you without one? Man, shit sad, bro. Anywho, man, anyway. Shout out to Big Grit. He says, for the love, looking forward to the season. Keep pounding. Thank you, brother, for that super sticker. Y'all did good, man. Yeah, I look forward to keep pounding this season, man. And listen, look, win, lose, draw, man, I'm here for it, brother. Keep pounding Carolina Panthers for life, dog. You know what I mean? Even if it's painful to sit back and watch, I'll be here. Even if we go to the Super Bowl, I'll be here. #1 draft pick, I'll be here. I'm gonna give you my take every step of the way. And like I said, this will be my first and my last time on 95 The Roar mentioning this crap right here. I'm not bringing this back up here. I'm not gonna do this. This is not a drama channel. But I thought the importance of what's going on in the community, in the Panthers community, needs to be put on front. The gentleman has been walking around with a gang of subscribers with guns, telling people to come outside. They're going to blow their brains out, fight them, kill them, whatever they have. And the NFL needs to be on high alert this year. And also, you fans. Okay? All right. What else we got here? Shout out to Villain Trucker. He just purchased 50 memberships. Thank you, brother. Those memberships are pretty cool, man. What that's going to do is going to allow for you guys to be able to, during the regular season, you guys are going to have access to early videos, right? So I won't be going live every day during the regular season, but you guys will have access to that before it actually comes out. And also, not only will you guys have access to that, you also get a cool little insignia next to your name, okay? So right next to your name, you'll get an insignia with a new logo. Matter of fact, let me show you guys the new logo. Give me a second here. I know a lot of you guys already seen it here. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Let me go to the community section. I decided to change up the logo this year. I wanted to make it a little more aggressive. Give me 1 second here. Y'all support y'all content creators, man. Even if it's not me, bro. I don't care if it's not me. Y'all support, man. There's a lot of work that goes into editing videos. There's a lot of work that goes into this stuff, bro. Y'all support y'all content creators, man. Give me 1 second. Let me show y'all the new logo. Where we at? Give me a second here. There we go. So that's the logo right there, man. I wanted to make it a little more aggressive. You can see I got the Raptors of the Carolina Panthers Stadium with the skyline behind it and the 95 The Roar logo. So I thought that was pretty cool, pretty tough. Shout out to my man for those gifting those memberships, man. Shout out to Villain Trucker. Thank you, brother. Yep. Yeah, but you purchasing a lot of membership. Thank you, brother. Yeah. Give me 1 second here. 1 second here. Yeah. That's the logo right there. Any questions, man? Any more questions before we get out of here? I've been enjoying today's little conversation here, man. So, look, man, bottom line, man, I ain't no bad person, man. I ain't no perfect nigga either, bro. I ain't nobody's savior, man. I know a lot of you guys love me, man, but there have been some things that, I wish I can go back and redo. And there's a lot of things I've done that I'm proud of. A lot of people I helped out. And there's a lot of people who I work with and network with. And it turned out to be very good for them in the future. And I'm proud of that, man. And you guys should be proud of that. But at the end of the day, man, I'm human. And nothing online can make me want to kill a man. Or promote the fact that I want somebody else to kill him. There's nothing in the Carolina Panthers community that will make me promote killing another content creator. Okay, so think about who you support. Now, a lot of people say, I'm not with shout out to PPP. What's up, boy? Yes, sir. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Thank you for that. Yeah, that logo's dope, man. Thank you, brother. Yeah. Yeah, man, I'm just on this. I just want to do some football takes this year, man. But think about when you support somebody, what does it say about you? What does that say about you? If you know somebody sitting around, they want to provocate for killing and murdering of another content creator, if you're okay supporting that says a lot about you too. Now you're grown, you're a grown man or a grown woman, you can do what you want to do, but implication is right there. It's right. It's bold. It's a bold statement. Silence speaks the loudest. You know what I mean? The same way you held me accountable for allowing Leo on the old channel and other people to talk crazy, hold that guy accountable. Not for me, but for the sake of humanity, brother. It's an ethical, it's a moral responsibility. It is a moral responsibility to hold people accountable. I'm in ethics class right now. I go to a big university, okay? And part of ethics I'm learning about is virtue. One of my favorite philosophers, Aristotle. Aristotle talks about the virtue of means, okay? And the excess and the deficiencies. Not to get too high when it comes to a response to something, or not to get too low when it comes to that very same response, but to make the actual responsibility be fitting to the means. A means to an end. That's Aristotle's virtue of means. So ask yourself, is his means a proper response to the actual situation of what's going on? Is his means truly virtuous? Is that a virtuous means or reply to the actual situation? Walk around with guns, talking about you shoot and kill a nigga? Is that a virtuous means? I don't think so. It would be called an excess. You know what I mean? There are probably ways to address that. You know what I mean? And that's what Aristotle talks about, man. So, look, man, I'm not telling you not to rock with somebody or whatever, but what I'm saying is when you hear somebody, going left or talking about murdering and killing people and, put one in the air, I'm going to pull up in Georgia, shoot a nigga in the fireworks, it's your responsibility as a fan or a subscriber to say, hey, look, we ain't coming for that. It's also your responsibility to report. Hit the report button, hit the screenshot, hit the video record. If you see something, you tell something. Because I promise you, if I end up dead, or if that gentleman ends up dead, it's going to be a lot of niggas talking about, I wish. And like I said before, I'm not no bully, I'm not no killer, but I'm not ignorant either. And I'm not coming to play with nobody. I take that very seriously. And I will be on the defense. So, you know what I mean? Somebody want to be a middleman and broker a conversation on my channel tonight, I won't mind it. I won't even let no trolls up. I ain't going to even let no trolls up. We can find out where all this went wrong. You speak your piece, I speak my piece, and get the hell on. We ain't got to like each other, but, you know what I mean? We can get some clarity to this. Because to this day, I still don't know what a nigga did to you, bro. 6 months you ghosted me, and then you came out and said, my car is dirty, I'm fat and nasty. That's the gist of it. And then I kind of swung back at you. We went back and forth for the, you know what I mean? That's what I do. So you owe it to your fan base, you owe it to the community. You don't owe me nothing to explain to you why or how a nigga hurt you and why you decided to go that route. Okay? All right. Stay right there. Let me read some more questions here. Shout out to Third Coast. He said, you're ignorant, you're just not a crash out. He said, you are ignorant, you're just not a crash out. Yeah, I could definitely be petty. I definitely could be petty, bro. I got a petty bone. I try to keep that hidden, man, but I'm a petty. I could be petty. Definitely could be petty, okay? All right? Am I going to the Hall of Fame game this year? No. I've been to Canton one time. I've been up there for a week one time. My job sent me up there. And ain't nothing up in Canton, dog. You literally got this big ass mall that's dying. Y'all ever heard of a place called Mission Barbecue? They got a Mission barbecue up there. Nasty potato salad, but that's some good barbecue. Ain't too much up there, but I've been to Canton before. And the stadium literally sits right off the freeway. So it look like a little small university stadium. The TV make it look bigger than what it is, man. That stadium really small. But no, I've been out there before. I ain't going back. Shout out to Third Coast. He said that logo clean. Thank you, brother. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. All right. Any more questions here before we get out of here? I know I said that again. I'm gonna say it again. Say it one more time. Any more questions? Any more questions here? Shout out to Rockhead. Give me 1 second here. Rockhead said, anyone who thinks that's wrong, what he's saying, y'all need to check yourself because that's real. Shout out to Kendall Francis. He said for Luke Kuechly making the Hall of Fame. Facts, brother. Yeah. Shout out to Rocket. Yeah, brother. I mean, I'm not trying to be salacious when I say that, brother. I honestly don't know what made the gentleman mad. Yeah. Okay. Well, tune in tonight, 95. Tune in tonight on 10 Toes Down. We'll be doing our thing. Shout out to each and every one of you guys who donated. Shout out to all the membership by my man, Trucker Villain. Shout out to God of Blackness, man. Shout out to each and every one of you guys. I'll end with this, man. Look, man, let's keep this community going in a positive direction. If you're a Carolina Panthers fan, my nigga, you know what I mean? Let's support our team to the best of our ability, but let's hold them accountable, right? You don't want to kiss no butt, but we do want to hold them accountable, okay? And rock with me, man, if you rock on me. If you don't like me, man, that's fine. That's cool. I'm cool with that. Just don't be over there talking crap, right? You feel like, hey, man, or if you see a nigga talking about murdering folks, you cool with that? Would you be cool if somebody was on my platform talking about I'm gonna murder your mama, murder your kids? Would you be cool with that? What does that say about you? If a nigga get to talking crazy like that, but you enjoying his football takes, how does that make sense? If you hold me accountable for that, you know what I mean? Which I don't do that, but if you hold me accountable for talking crap, hold this nigga talking about murdering niggas and walking around with niggas talking about murdering niggas. And if you hear something, you see something. Already, like I said, I already got motherfucking report right here from Mecklenburg County, along with the North Carolina State Bureau of what is it, NCBSI, whatever it is, and a few more other agencies I reached out to. Okay? Here's something you see, something. Hold people accountable. Let's get this football thing going back on the right track. We will be here Hall of Fame game if you want to cover it live with me. This has been 1995, The Roar. Exhausting episode today. Very exhausted. Hit the like button, share button, hype up, man. Let's grow this channel. And yeah, man. Hopefully this will be the last. Well, this will be the last time I address this. And it is what it is. Believe what you want to believe, but I just gave it to you from the horse's mouth. And if the man claims to be a man as he is, tell him come see me over 10 Toes Down. Him and one of his friends. And we can talk about like, man, if not, hide behind narratives and false stuff. Hey, man, I love you guys. Y'all be good.